Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to round 4 of the Pro Top 24 competition here at Teesside Autodrome. The sun, well, it's been a little bit stopped by some clouds, but that hasn't stopped the action on track. We see an electric qualifying session where we whittled down over 35 drivers to 24, and as you can see, those 24 now making their way off the grid. We just had a bit of a grid walk, Mark. We invited the public down. Those guys had some fun chatting with some of their favourite drivers.
Yeah, they were getting autographs off their famous drivers who are going to be out there today. So we've got top 8 drivers that have qualified straight into that 16, and then 17th to 24, and now we're going to do a battle to join them in that great top 16.
Yeah, look, I can't wait. The grid is stacked, the guys are ready to go, and as we can see behind us there, Bagsy and Oliver Baker just recreating a photo that was taken many moons ago when Oliver Baker was knee high, and he said that Bagsy was his idol, and now, you know, they're sharing the same grid. So there we go, Bagsy and the boys making their way off circuit. Cole Farrar making his way back to the back of the grid. Look, I'm excited. You guys ready, Teesside? Teesside, you're going to have to do a lot better than that. Listen, we are not coming back here for at least a year. It's going to be a long time. The next time you'll see us will be at Silverstone. Always, when we come to Teesside, they make a lot of noise, right, Mike?
Usually
they make a lot of noise. Normally they're on their feet, clapping, cheering. These guys are going to go hard today. Luke Barker is trying to win the championship, but as it stands right now, at this moment, Bagsy is currently just pipping him to it. He is forcing him to go to Silverstone in a few weeks' time.
Yeah, Luke's worked out that if he scores, I think, 2 or 4 more points than Bagsy, he doesn't have to come to Silverstone. So let's hope Bagsy does it today.
Well, let's hope Bagsy does do it today and he takes down Luke Barker. But listen, before we even kick off any of that action, I want every single one of you on the banking to make some noise, because you've all paid money to be here, right? Oh, maybe they haven't. Maybe they got in for free. I don't know. But listen, before we kick off Top 24, I need everyone at Teesside, please make some noise! That's what I'm talking about. We're going to get you warmed up, because as we move through this competition, I'm going to want you to scream before the final. Listen, we're going to go to a quick ad break. Don't go anywhere if you're at home, because in a minute, we're going to kick off some serious action here at round 4.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
More horsepower, less wear, better performance. Introducing new GP1 high-performance driven racing oil, developed specifically for competition, classic, and import vehicle applications.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are, an absolutely incredible and beautiful looking Teesside Autodrome here in Middlesbrough. And as you can see, everybody in the ground and the banks ready to rock and roll, and the grandstands all ready for partying. We're going to head down to the start line, because I do believe our first cars, our first battle of top 24 action is ready to kick off.
Yep, we have got Johan Quaziz from PH Drift, regular here at Teesside Autodrome, runs a drift school here. So if you fancy having a go at what you're seeing out there today, and if you're in the northeast, you can always give PH Drift a shout and get some lessons here at Teesside Autodrome. And Aaron Grantham coming up from the Pro 2 class from yesterday. Absolutely buzzing to be out here in the Pro class. And Yogi borrowing a car off Michael Bennett today, so it's only a 3:28 as they go off the line. Aaron Grantham in the Drift E36 Kings. E36 in the chase position, and that high line from Yogi is exactly what the judges want to see. Dropping down slightly, down towards clipping point 3, running the car through 3 and nice and deep in 3. Aaron allowed to come off the line and dive slightly as long as he's within 3 metres of the lead car, hence the reason why he is slightly offline. And Yogi has to run the perfect qualifying line in that lead position. So a fairly even battle. Just to let you know, boys and girls, if you haven't been to a drift event before, or if you're new on the live stream, that we have 3 judges. We have Peter Nielsen, Rich Newton and James Grimsey, who are all drifters in their own right, and they will score these runs. Basically, it's either driver A, driver B, or it's a one more time. Each judge has to make that decision, and it's over 2 runs. Both drivers will take turn to lead. As you can see, they've swapped positions on the start line. Aaron Grantham in that lead position has to go through the chicane, and that is to stop him from getting the jump on his opponent, but we know he's got... Oh, Yogi's bonnet's come up. Yogi's bonnet's come up.
A bonnet flip from Johan.
Is he going to keep on?
And Johan is going to try and recreate a famous video that went viral this year from Drift Masters of Toran Ikavia, who drifted the whole circuit in qualifying with his bonnet up. But technically, due to the rules, it's going to be a 10-0. So look at Johan, arm out the window, slapping the roof. Teesside, make some noise. Give him a round of applause. What a guy. Yeah, I think Johan just did the English equivalent of the Drift Masters version of Toran Ikavia there. Incredible that these guys can still drift with the bonnet up. Look at that. Johan's like, well, what do? You know, some days it's good, some days it's bad. So Johan trying to shut that bonnet. It's a little bit worse for wear at the moment. So they are going to make their way back to the start line to receive their decision from our start line marshal, Dale.
Yep, I think these two should go back round to the start line to be given their decision by Dale Bradley, our start line marshal. But they've stopped where the Pro 2s were being given their decision yesterday. Aaron was out with the Pro 2s yesterday.
Yeah, that's right.
And we see one of our marshals there just reminding them, and the drivers should have known that from the briefing this morning, that they go back round to the start line.
So there we go.
We have the decision, obviously, due to the bonnet coming in. Aaron Grantham will go into the top 16 and will meet Luke Barker. The top 8 drivers today get an automatic bye run into the top 16, so they're sat in the gridding area waiting to see who their opponents will be. And Luke Barker now knows he has got Aaron Grantham. Luke Barker, obviously the championship leader as it stands. Right, we look to the grid, and Dale gives the decision, and Aaron Grantham goes through. And you just saw briefly there, the next pair of drivers you will see on the line is Rob Black from Team Jap Speed and JJ Stevens in the immaculate. Oh, he's done it again.
He flipped it down and then pulled away again so fast it flipped. That's a double.
We had some memes yesterday from a few people from, unfortunately, we had
Eddie
a driver
Hucker,
from Eddie making a mistake, and then Yogi's done the double.
He's done the double. There we go. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. They come round.
Well,
Johan put in Kev Bennett's car on the line there for the purpose of drifting and motorsport.
But he can't see if they're clapping.
No, he can't see anything, can he, really, at the moment?
So now Aaron Grantham will go through to the next round of the competition. In the meantime, back on the start line, the drivers are warming up their tyres in the burnout box. And I look around and you can see JJ Stevens there, just warming his tyres up in that burnout box, getting their front and rear tyres. These tyres, semi-slicks on most of these cars now. 265s most of these guys run, and they are semi-slicks, so you can imagine the amount of grip that they are creating by doing those burnouts. And they obviously need that grip in the front tyres as well, because if they have an excessive amount of grip on the rear tyres, if they initiate badly into this first corner that will end up going to the beach. Right, we're off the line.
Certainly are. Rob Black to lead out JJ Stevens. As you can see, Stevens not messing around, knows Rob Black's fast. Rob Black, nice fast initiation. You can see that car scrub up the hill, picks up outside zone 2 on a really nice lead line at the moment. Is Rob Black as he comes firing down the outside zone 3. A bit of separation. JJ Stevens lights up the tyres on the back of that Nissan Skyline R34. Dives across the track, looks for the side of the Jap Speed S15, can't find the proximity as Rob Black hammers the throttle through the floor and across the line.
Yeah, good lead run there from Rob. As we explained earlier, if you've just joined us, Rob has been with Team Jap Speed at Carfest North, Carfest South, and most recently at Drift Pro at Donington last weekend. And from what I understand, he had a good result, but his teammate that we will see later on, Matt Denham, took the win last weekend. So these guys are battling it out to be able to go against Justinas Norcus in the top 16. Right, this time they swap it around. It's JJ Stevens in the lead position, Rob Black in the chase position. The chicane slowing the lead car down so that there's no drag racing into that first corner. Little bit of separation. JJ Stevens, though, little bit shy on that banking compared to where Rob was, but Rob needs to get some proximity on the back of that immaculate R34, the down through 3. This is where Rob should be able to close up that gap, and he's getting towards that rear quarter. Dives on the door of the R34 as they come on that final turn. Oh, the clipping point 6 of Rob Black right in the pocket of the R34 as they come off the line. Well, I tell you what, that was close, Ian. Yeah,
Rob Black waited and saved it all till the last minute to get the job done. Waited till almost the last clipping point to make that dive, get that proximity on the rear bumper of JJ Stevens' Nissan Skyline. Did get there, but the judges kind of deliberating this one. Was a scrappy affair. JJ Stevens' lead not as clean as Rob Black's, not as high up on the outside zone 2 as what we'd like to have seen. So we go back on the start line with our start line marshal Dale. He will drop the flag on the winner, who will take it through to the top 16 to face off against Justinas Norcus.
We just await now for the graphic to come up. And here we go. Peter Nielsen says Rob Black. Rich Newton says Rob Black, and it's a unanimous decision. Rob Black will go through to meet Justinas Norcus in the top 16 here at Teesside Autodrome. So no, that's the first Jap Speed car. Well, let's see if Matt Denham is actually in the Grade 8. So he will be waiting to see who his opponent is later on in the bracket. Right, the next battle will be Owen Atkinson against Jay Wilding, who are competing against Stefan Stefanov, who qualified in 7th place and automatically gets a place in the top 16.
So there we go. Owen Atkinson pulls to the line. Teesside carton on the door, warms up the tyres, ready to rock and roll. You can see Jay Wilding in the background, warming up the tyres on the back of that M&M Engineering S14A. M&M. Stewie looking confused in the tower. Not sure what's going on there. It's been a long weekend for you, Stewie, so far. So there we go. We're waiting to get the thumbs up all round. There we go. Drivers are nodding to each other. Thumbs up across the cars. The hands drop. They leave the start line. Owen Atkinson to lead. Jay Wilding to give chase. Jay Wilding giving Owen Atkinson some room to manoeuvre now. Owen Atkinson with a nice flick initiation there, gets way high on the bank, starts to drive away from Jay Wilding, and Jay Wilding now realised the situation, shortcuts the south bank, down he comes, jumps back on that qualifying line as Owen Atkinson picks up all of those clipping points on that perfect lead line at the moment, hammers the throttle down, looks for it, Jay Wilding throws angle at it, but no proximity from Jay Wilding.
Yeah, I think Jay Wilding either he was asleep on the line, or he certainly didn't expect that V8 powered RX-8 of Owen Atkinson's to be quite as quick as it was going to be into that first corner. Maybe just left napping a little bit. Like I say, we put that chicane in place on the start line for the lead drivers so they can't drag race away. However, the chase drivers got to be ready. The drivers were asking this morning if they were allowed to jump the start in case their cars were a little bit slower than the car they're competing with, and they were given permission. However, look, Owen Atkinson then, he will be chasing down Jay Wilding. I suspect that Owen Atkinson is going to stick it to the Jay Wilding with a nice flick entry. Owen Atkinson playing it safe, but that allows him to get on the door. Jay Wilding shy of clipping point 2. The judges will mark that down. If
wow,
it comes
look
to
at Atkinson on the wheel. Oh, contact potentially.
Well, I've no idea. I think Jay Wilding may have an issue with that car looking at that. Owen Atkinson saw it coming, backs off to save contact, and it does appear that way, that Owen Atkinson Jay Wilding's car has cut out
So,
as they went into the hairpin.
Yeah, our marshal
And
over
it
there.
started up again.
Oh no, looks like he definitely has got an issue.
He was complaining this morning. Of smoke filling the car, but unfortunately it looks like his car cut out.
So, wondering what the issue is there with Jay Wilding's car. Owen Atkinson was absolutely glued to the door, though. I wasn't sure if they'd made contact as they come into outside zone 3. Let's take a look back at a replay of this one. Owen Atkinson, though, rewarded for the bravery, even still, because incredible chase run. He didn't get caught, didn't get drag raced away. Look, waited for Jay Wilding to make the initiation, then just a straight line handbrake right up onto the door. Jay Wilding way down on outside zone 2. That opened the door even more for Owen Atkinson to gain that proximity. And look at this, the closest we've seen anyone down that bank, right in the crease, and you can see.
I personally don't think there was any contact there.
No, there wasn't, and you could see there was no wheels spinning from.
On the banking there, you must have had a good view. Was there contact? Did anybody see any contact on the banking?
I think they're all asleep.
Oh, they're all asleep.
They're all asleep. There we go. Decisions in. Owen Atkinson getting the win and moving through into the top 16 to face off against Stefan Stefanov. Jay Wilding out of competition. That car letting him down this weekend.
Yeah, shame to see him out so early in the competition. Right, so the next pair of drivers we will have warming up their tyres as Owen and Jay come round the track. So give them both a round of applause. Obviously, they've come here not only to compete, but also you can see by Jay's livery on that car, obviously a bit of a showman. So congratulations to Owen Atkinson. So he's your local driver, literally lives round the corner. So Owen Atkinson, I hope you, if you are local, Owen is the man that you should be supporting here this weekend. So Callum Payne, our Pro 2 champion, crowned yesterday, up on the grid of the Pro class where he will remain. And he goes up against Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes has been on it this weekend, Ian.
Yeah, I mean, had some issues with that car in practice earlier on today. Went away, come back out. The car was angry. He was driving it really, really angry, but it paid off. Qualified well, qualified up in 18th place in the top 24. Now sits on the line to chase down Callum Payne, your 2021 Pro 2 champion. Through the gate they come, down through the gears. Callum Payne, a little flick across the track. Ryan Hughes waits for Callum Payne to get himself set up on South Bank. Callum Payne shallows up the angle, looks for the side of that S14 of Callum Payne, but Callum Payne on that real wide line. Ryan Hughes almost gets himself caught up there on the inside of the circuit. Needs to be careful he doesn't get his nose cut off on the transition. As Ryan Hughes now starts to rein in the champ. As he goes wide, drops the wheel on the edge of the circuit, both wobble across the line.
A fantastic, for me, perfect display of how a lead run should be done. Their drivers are told in the briefing the qualifying line is exactly the line that they should run. And for me, it's always said you need a good lead to be able to have a good chase. And I think Callum there left the door wide open for Ryan to come and sit on his door and allowed Ryan to do a fantastic chase run as well.
So there we go, Ryan Hughes, Callum Payne make their way back to the start line. You can see Ryan Hughes in the background just stopping maybe to have a word on the radio to the spotters. The Garage 500 crew will be on the banking, watching the action. And Ryan Hughes now makes his way to the start line. Callum Payne to give chase. Callum Payne knows he needs to have a good chase here, but Ryan Hughes needs to lend him a nice lead run to follow as the sun now starts to come back from behind the clouds and shine down here on Teesside Autodrome in Middlesbrough. Thumbs up all round. Through the chicane goes Ryan Hughes. As Callum Payne gets a little bit of a jump on him there. Down they come. Callum Payne watches Ryan Hughes with a nice clutch kick initiation. Goes high up on the bank, just Ryan Hughes, puts the throttle down, starts to drive away from Callum Payne. Callum Payne needs to shortcut a little bit of the circuit to gain that proximity back. You can see him off of that outside zone, dives across the track, looks for the door, goes for the dive, parks the S14 up onto the side of the S14 of Ryan Hughes. Oh, a wobble from Payne as Ryan Hughes leads him across the line.
Yeah, Callum's car not as powerful as Ryan's car. I believe Ryan's car's running around about 600
horsepower, yeah.
Whereas I know Callum's about 350, 360. So the power difference there, just telling, because obviously Callum will have to run not so good a tyre to make sure that he can drive exactly the same as the drivers line up. We see Dale Bradley, our trusty start line marshal there with the checkered flag, and he will give the decision to the driver who takes it through. the judges still discussing, like say Peter Nielsen, Rich Newton, and
James Grimsey.
I know, I always want to call him Blady because I've known him for 15 years now and he's always been Blady. It's now James Grimsey. Like I say, all three of them drifters in their own right. Peden driving in the IDC over in Ireland. Rich Newton driving in Eurodrift way back when. Had the pleasure of beating him at Chepstow once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
He never lives that down.
Never lives it down.
He always said, I had my 200 horsepower R32 and you had 400. But
winning.
We still look, he's yawning. No, but we had an absolute wicked time. We've been mates ever since. So.
Oh, we're talking about the decision. So, so it looks like there's a bit of a tussle between James and Peden. They're having a bit of a conflict here. They're trying to work out who's going to be the winner.
Right. So.
So look at this. Rich Newton says one more time. Peden and James. This could be a split judging panel.
Well,
we might need to go.
They have their own. They make up their own minds. Chunky's sat here and he's got his arms crossed and he says, no, in my opinion, that should be a one more time. Peden and James have to make their own decision. It's entirely up to them. They do discuss things. However, right, okay, so Peden says, well, all right, he said unanimous decision in the end. That will be a one more time. So, ladies and gents, like I said, the judges have 3 decisions they can choose. They can choose driver A, driver B, or a one more time. And we'll just head over to James to give us a reason on why that should be a one more time.
Hi, ironically, we were all in agreement it was going to be one more time, but we were just discussing the various merits of each person's run. For us, Callum ran a really nice lead when he was doing it. If anything, you'd say Ryan's wasn't quite as good. But chase to chase, Ryan had better proximity, but it was slightly scrappy at times. Callum didn't have quite the same proximity, but he was very smooth. Overall, there's just not enough in there for me to say definitively, or any of us, 6-4 in advantage to one of the 2 drivers, so we'd rather see him again.
All right, thank you, James. Just to explain, if you're new to drifting or you've not been to one of our events before, or if you're new on the live stream, the judges tend to score, well, they do score in their own minds out of 10 points. So the drivers have 10 points between them. So if they think drivers are equal, they would score it a 5-5. If they think a driver has a massive advantage, it may be a 9-1. And obviously, if one driver ends up with a 0-point run, which is an understeer, a spin, etc., 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 then it goes the other way. So the drivers that's how they do in their heads, and they take notes until they see their second run, and then they make a decision whether it is driver A, driver B, or a one more time. And as you can see on that one, it will be a one more time. Immediately we look straight back to the start line, and we see Stuart Egdal and Marcus Clare, another Garage 500 driver. Had a message earlier on Instagram from Titch, saying a big shout out to all the guys from Garage 500 behind the scenes who make it possible for these guys to be here. And Stuart Egdal out there, I know he's got family here today as well, so big thank you to you for coming.
There we go. Marcus Clare leads out Stu Egdal. Stu Egdal goes for a late initiation. Marcus Clare absolutely hot off the press, hot out the gates. And Stu Egdal looks for the back bumper at R32 Nissan Skyline now, starts to rein him in down on that first hairpin. Egdal shallows up the angle, goes for almost a straight line dive onto the door, goes for another little nose up onto the side. You can see him battling that car inside. Very shallow angle from Stu Egdal as he fires it on angle. Oh, and almost takes it completely off track there as he jumps over the edge of the curbing.
Yeah, scrappy chase run from Stu, trying to get that proximity. The judges have asked for proximity, but not to do what Stuart did, where it's dive off the throttle, dive off the throttle. He wants to see a nice, smooth. I mean, basically, to explain, obviously we have clipping points around the track, which you can all see, which are painted boxes and our red and white boxes. When it comes to the battles, effectively the lead car is a mobile clipping point, and the chase driver has to mirror the lead car all the way around the circuit with the lead car running the qualifying line. Right, here we go then on the second half of this battle.
Yeah, Egdal now to lead out Marcus Clare. Marcus Clare knows he probably has a few more points in the bank after that first run. Stu Egdal fires that car into outside zone 1. Look at Clare though, he washes the car up onto the bank, washes it right up onto the side. He's going to go for the door, looks at Egdal. Egdal drops a wheel wide, hits the tyre bales, destroys the back end of the S14, stays in it though. Marcus Clare avoids contact, now makes another little cheeky dive on the inside. Egdal drops a wheel off the edge of the track once again. Marcus Clare holds his own, dials on the angle and finishes up the run.
Whoa, just watching Marcus there
Clare
over the line, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think the difference there, when we said about a chase run, whereas Stewart was on and off, and it was not a very good chase run. Marcus there proving, especially on that second hairpin, when Stewart made that mistake, he's able to control that car and still keep proximity. And the decision is in. For those of you watching on the live stream, Pete and James and Rich, it's a unanimous decision, and it will be Marcus Clare going through into the top 16, and he will be up against Tom Van Beek when we get in to the battle.
Yes, so there we go. Marcus Clare gets a win, advances through into competition against Tom Van Beek in top 16. These guys are going to make their way round and past. Garage 500 doing double duty. Marcus Clare, we're hearing in the background, called a 5-minute rule. Maybe a problem with that car. So now Marcus Clare's going to make his way back to the paddock to see Ryan Hughes' car being worked on.
I was going to, yeah. All right, yeah. Ryan Hughes called a 5-minute rule.
Ryan Hughes called a 5-minute rule, sorry. So Marcus Clare's going to get back, ready to prep his car, and there's going to be a Ryan Hughes there who's needing assistance. So that team are going to be absolutely flat out. We move it along to the next battle. It will be, well, as he described it to me earlier on today, 2 barges out having some fun. It will be Hayden Cruikshank to take on Martin Wonnacott. JZX 100 versus JZX 100. Martin Wonnacott back out in the Betty's Surf Shop. JZX Chaser, as you can see there, back on form. Said he's testing the car this weekend. He said he's feeling good, looking good. And Hayden Cruikshank saying, look, I'm not in my normal car. I'm not in the JZX that I normally drive. I'm in the spare car. He said, but I'm just loving it. I'm having so much fun. I'm enjoying myself. And this is good fun to be back out. And he said, I wouldn't want to battle anyone else but Martin Wonnacott in the top 24.
Yeah, 2 monster-sized cars. Plenty of power between them. Right, they're off the start line. Dale Bradley sending them off. Look at that. Hayden Cruikshank, no, he's not got as much power in that Cresta as they come down off the line. And Martin Wonnacott with a handbrake entry. Hayden Cruikshank just holding back a little bit. Martin shy of clipping point 2, and some separation there as Martin Wonnacott drops it down into 3. A little bit shy on that line through there. Hayden Cruikshank now using the tight hairpins to potentially get some proximity on Mr. Wonnacott, but it's not happening here today. And across the line. So
Hayden Cruikshank there going wide, looked like he was almost 3 wheels. That car, though, is so long, he can be on track and off track at the same time.
It could be in a different postcode.
It could be in a different postcode, yeah, and the Cresta, obviously, the graphic saying JZX 100, he's not in that car, is he? So, yeah, in the Cresta, and Rich Newton saying earlier on in the lunch break, he's surprised he's still got the lights in the car, because the lights alone worth a good couple of £1,000 in that Cresta.
They're probably stickers.
No, apparently they are genuine lights, front and rear.
Oh, yeah,
so.
they are. Oh, my word.
Yeah, so Hayden Cruikshank playing a dangerous game. He now slots himself into the lead position as Martin Wonnacott tries to chase him down. They come through the chicane down to the start line to initiate. And look at that. Wonnacott on the back bumper allows Cruikshank the opportunity to initiate, waits for him to get himself set up on South Bank, and now starts to rein him in as Martin Wonnacott looks for the side. Oh, and Wonnacott straightens. Wonnacott has a touch of understeer, puts the car into a straight and gets himself back into it, though, reinitiates round the second hairpin, now finds the door of Hayden Cruikshank's Cresta as they cross the line.
Wow. Another one, going to be another tough call, because obviously there was some separation, but the 2 runs for me were fairly even. If there is separation, the judges judge the two runs. Sorry, they judge the 2 cars on their qualifying line. On the line,
yeah, if there's separation.
However, we saw Martin there make a mistake, and the judges asking for a replay. So those of you at home, or if you've got watching up on the banking on your telephones on Facebook, you can see the replays being shown. In the meantime, I'm just going to ask race control about our 5-minute rule on Mr. Hughes.
Yeah, Ryan Hughes waiting to find out if he's got that car repaired, if he's making his way back to the start line. So there we go, we can take a look back at the replay of this. And big separation between Martin and Hayden on Martin's lead run. As we can see, no proximity really. You can see Hayden Cruikshank having to shortcut the track. So much smoke, they're making the job of the judges this weekend even tougher again. And Hayden Cruikshank, lost in the smoke. Yeah, 3 wheels, 2 wheels off track. There was wheels still on circuit. And that's what the judges were looking for, trying to look through the smoke. And now they want to see a replay of the second run. So they're looking for Martin Wonacott's mistake into the first hairpin. I think he did what Rob Black did yesterday in the top 32, where he got his nose up on the inside and had to shut it down. I wonder if that's what it was. I wonder if he worried he was going to make contact with Hayden Cruikshank. Makes a nice dive down outside zone 3. Then watch this from Martin Wonacott. Oh, I'm not sure.
No, I'm saying what I was going to say what I see, and I think that was an unforced error. Personally, I think he.
Yeah, I think he made the mistake himself.
Error.
I don't think it was an issue with the car. I think he had to let off the throttle.
The judges will. Right, who on the banking thinks the white Cresta should go through? Hayden Cruikshank. No one. Who thinks Martin Wonacott should go through? Oh, quite a few of those. And who thinks it should be a one more time? Oh, blimey.
No one.
No one. Oh, well, we'll let these three over here decide then if that's the case. Right, what we got?
So here we go. Flag is going to drop. The graphic's going to appear on the screen for you guys at home. Who is going to take it through? 1 vote for Hayden Cruikshank. 2 votes for Hayden Cruikshank. Cruikshank gets the win. Advances through. We're going to come over to you, James, just to have a quick word. Unforced error. Martin Wonacott making a mistake in hairpin 1.
Yeah, definitely. I think Martin's error was he got in ever so slightly deep initially, then tried to pour on, take off some angle, then put it back on again, then was trying to gain momentum through here. I think he was scared he was going to hit that lovely Cresta of Hayden's to begin with and got out of it. So that's an 8-2 down. On the first run, we were just double checking because Hayden got lost in the smoke from our perspective. We weren't sure if he was 3 wheels off, but we don't think he was. So that was a 7-3. So Hayden goes through.
There we go. Hayden Cruikshank advancing through. He will be facing off against Matt Denham in the top 16 later on this afternoon. As Martin Wonacott finished off his tyres, waves to the crowd, makes his way off the circuit. Hayden, though, having a good weekend once again. So we go back to the one more time battle between Callum Payne and Ryan Hughes. Ryan Hughes gets his car fixed and back onto the grid within the allotted 5-minute rule.
Yep, they get 1 5-minute rule in their first round of battles, and then they get another one in the top 4. Right, they go off the line.
Yeah, off the line they come through. Callum Payne to lead, Ryan Hughes to give chase. Callum Payne, nice initiation, sets himself up, gets himself high up on the bank that opens the door for Ryan Hughes. You can see him just balancing that proximity, keeping close enough to give himself in the fight. Callum Payne down into outside zone 3, gets wide of the track, just catches that outside zone as Ryan Hughes makes a brave dive up onto the side, almost gets the front end of the car completely taken off. Door to door though goes Ryan Hughes as he pushes Callum Payne across the line.
What a lead run from Callum Payne.
Incredible.
I mean, you know, if it was qualifying, that would be way, way up in the 90s, in my opinion. But obviously, that's what they're supposed to do. Yeah, fantastic run from our Pro 2 champion. So in the chase position, though, like we said, Ryan's running more power than Callum. So Callum, with it all to do, and obviously they've had a battle now. So Callum knows exactly what to expect from Ryan off this start line. Will he take the jump and go a little bit earlier so that they can initiate at the same time and then hopefully keep up with Ryan as they go round South Bank Corner here at Teesside Autodrome? Here we go, Dale Bradley sends them on their way. Look, Callum immediately, he's keen, he knows what's going to happen, he knows that Ryan's going to have a bit of a lead going into this first corner, and Ryan just uses a bit of weight transfer. That gap is there again though, Ian.
Yeah, it certainly is, Mark. That gap really does start to creep back into it. Callum Payne needs to raid him in, try and shortcut the track to gain that proximity back. As Ryan Hughes puts the back end of the S14A into outside zone 4. Callum Payne once again makes a dive, looks for the side, starts to get pulled away from though, and it looks like Ryan Hughes is the stronger contender as they both finish up the run.
Yeah, I'm blimey.
It's a close one.
I must admit, I'm swaying towards Ryan pure and simply on the speed, but then it's just the line he uses on his chase position. If you watch Ryan here on his chase run, for me, he's way off line of where he should be. I know that. I mean, he's just not there. Look, he's off clip 1 immediately down to 2, whereas he should be on the rear quarter of Callum's car in a perfect situation, mirroring the lead car. I mean, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Obviously, he's allowed to come offline there because he's within 3 metres of the lead car, hence the reason why he's able to get that proximity through the 2 hairpins. It's just that first third of the track for me that is debatable, shall we say. What are your thoughts, Ian? Come on, I've put my bit on the line.
I mean, look, I think he's got enough proximity to be off the qualifying line, and I think he can, take that risk to gain the reward of having closer proximity. Callum Payne doesn't take that risk to gain that proximity. I know he lost a lot of ground in the initiation. You can see it now. Or for you guys watching at home on the replay, look at that initiation from Ryan Hughes. Very nice. Gets up high on the bank, equally as high as Callum Payne. Hammers on the throttle. Callum Payne, no answer. Doesn't even try to gain any proximity by shortcutting the south bank or coming down into outside zone 3. It's only really here where he realises he's lost a lot of ground and starts to try and rein him back in. Watch this transition. Shortcuts it across the track, finds the door, but even then, Ryan Hughes on that nice lead line hammers down and starts to drive away. I think Callum Payne's on the ropes.
Good job. Well, that's it. So you have your decision, I have mine.
That's why we've got three judges.
That's why we have 3 judges, because obviously, if there was somebody sat in the middle saying tie, they'd go one more time. Potentially they could go one more time
but again.
Ultimately, it's down to the judges. So let's see what the graphics say. And
one vote for Callum Payne.
Callum Payne. Peden says Callum Payne. And it's a unanimous decision that Callum Payne, our Pro 2 champion 2021, will go through into the top 16 to meet Aronis Normantis.
Yes, so we're going to quickly fire it over to head judge James. Just quickly give us a breakdown of that one. You had to go through it again because you couldn't break them apart.
Yeah, funnily enough, the 2 runs were almost carbon copies of each other. Both leads were good. Both chase drivers put themselves in positions they really didn't need to be. In the briefing, it's like you initiate kind of behind the guy, not alongside him. The only difference was, if you watched lead to lead, Callum does a slightly deeper run initially, gets a nicer line, goes very deep through here between 3 and 4 and runs a really, really perfect line. Ryan's isn't as good. When roles are reversed, if you look chase to chase, Ryan's is great proximity, but he's quite choppy as he's doing it. There's quite a few sort of am I, aren't I moments as he goes around, and he's in the wrong position. Callum isn't in the perfect position either, but he's smooth when he does it, so we're rewarding that.
So there we go. Smoothness is rewarded. The silky smoothness of Callum Payne gets him through once again and into the top 16. Drift Jesus, silky smooth. There we go. Back on the start line we go, and it will be Danny Wyman to take on Bradley Wall, or Brad Wall, Barry Wall.
Barry.
The man with many names is what we're going to call him, Mr. Wall. So we go off the line. Danny Wyman leading out. Brad Wall, nice initiation from Danny Wyman, fires it up nice and high on the bank, gets on throttle, just shy of getting all the way into outside zone 2. Brad Wall dials on the angle. That's going to hurt him trying to gain that proximity. Wyman goes super wide, finds all of that outside zone. Dials on the angle on the transition now. Brad Wall starts to dive across the track, look for the side. The Pro 2 driver getting that bonus round for today. Looks to chase down Wyman, just can't get there.
Yeah, well, as we said earlier, Danny, a regular at Teesside, and he loves this circuit. Like I said this morning, he was itching to get onto circuit yesterday, never mind today, seeing if he could go out there and do his thing. And it's like, no, you'll have to wait till tomorrow, I'm afraid, Danny.
So there we go, Danny Wyman pulling up to the chase position as we await Brad Wall to make his way back to the start line.
Right, so we'll wait and see what's happening with Brad.
Yeah, Brad in the background there, just
right, okay.
Making his way off of the circuit. So hearing some rumours in the background. Yeah, a little bit of radio communication. Oh, wow. So we're hearing heartbreaking news. Brad Wall bows out of competition, takes the car back to the paddock, engine problems, and just drives straight off the circuit. Says, I can't compete. I need to go back to the paddock. I've got serious issues with the car. And Brad Wall will not compete in the second half of the run. So we do have to send Danny Wyman through. He will have to run down the circuit. As you can see, judges make it official. Danny Wyman does get the win, and he will run back to the paddock. And I can't believe it. I can't believe that car yesterday was flawless. Got him into the final 4, almost on the podium, and then today it just gave up. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as Danny Wyman makes his way back around to the paddock, and he will make his way into top 16 to face off against Bagsy.
Yeah, I was going to say when I spoke to him briefly down at the meet and greet, he said, I just want to win so I can go against Bagsy. That's all he wanted to do was go against Bagsy.
Two BS13s, but two completely different animals.
He's got his wishes. He's going to be against Bagsy in the top 16. Right, so the next battle will be the final battle of this top 24 before we go to the top 16. Now, these guys, Carl Farrer and Oliver Baker, the regular at Three Sisters, Carl Farah, and the regular here at Teesside, Oliver Baker. Car is located up in the northeast. The guys are from York, however, Carl from Three Sisters, and he did send me a message earlier. When his car comes round, I will remember the sponsor that he would like to thank, and Oliver Baker with his career. Where's the Ollie Baker fans at? All on the banking?
Yeah,
all the way around. Oh, yeah, in the top corner
wow,
up there.
There's loads of them. There's tons of Ollie Baker
So that'll
fans.
be Yoho and all the rest
Well, there we
of
go.
them.
We've got the thumbs up on the start line. Cole Farah to lead out Oliver Baker for a final spot in the top 16 awaits. Who's going to take it? Ollie Baker, no messing around, looks for the back bumper of that Toyota Chaser. As Cole Farah sticks it wide on the circuit, he's going to be very close to the edge of the track as he comes down to the outside zone. Baker shortcuts the track, finds himself on the inside, needs to be careful now, does Baker, as he transitions once again, looks for the side of that G2E Motorsport Chaser, just cannot get there though as Farah brings him across the line.
Yeah, I think the power of the Chaser's showing there against Oliver in the JZ-powered E36. But yeah, but still a good, clean battle. I mean, yeah, there was some separation, but, you know, still really good driving from both drivers. Now we'll see if Carl can put that Chaser on the door of that E36. Swap positions on the start line. Dale Bradley, thumbs up at both drivers. They're on their way. Ollie through the chicane. Carl in that chase position. Can Ollie Baker take down Carl Farah into that first corner? Ollie Baker beautifully through clip 1, gets it out to clip 2, but Carl Farah is there. Oh, and he's a little bit straight though, but he's into clipping point 3 and through 3. And a really, really good line from Baker. But Carl Farah is sat there on his door, putting it in the pocket. Oh, and Carl Farah straightens, and has he just thrown it away? Has Ollie Baker just gone through into that top 16 in his first pro round of UKDC? I think Carl Farah has just thrown it away.
Yeah, I think Carl Farah...
Oh, there we go, straight away. Unanimous decision. Oliver Baker goes through to the top 16 and will face top qualifier Jamie Stanton in the top. Wow, so Ollie Baker takes the win.
There we go, we wait to make it official down on the start line for those guys. Yeah, flag drops for Oliver Baker, and I think Carl Farah knows he made that mistake, got himself too close up and to the side of Ollie Baker's BMW, and Carl Farah forced himself into an error. Another driver getting himself into a position where they can't get out, and here comes Carl Farah, a little bit angry, but he's probably just going to put some AC/DC on and just chill out for the rest of the day. So there goes Carl Farah as he makes his way off the circuit.
But yeah, round of applause for Ollie Baker as well, taking it through to the top 16. Like I say, local lad. So along with Owen Atkinson, Ollie Baker is the man that you should be supporting. Right, we are on to the top 16, and you can see those that are watching on the live stream. Those are the battles that we will be seeing in the next hour or so. And Aaron Grantham, he must be absolutely buzzing.
He's buzzing. He's going to be on cloud 9 right now, but he goes up against your current points and championship leader, Luke Barker, in that insane 2JZ powered Toyota GT86. Luke Barker saying that he wants to get the job done this weekend. He wants to get it done right here in Teesside. He wants to finish it off. No more arguing who is the best of the best. He wants to go to town and take the championship before he leaves the event this evening. Can he do it? Aaron Grantham's going to try and stop him, but look at the pace in 86. Huge separation as Barker fires through outside zone 1. Up and gone is Luke Barker as he comes down into outside zone 3. Aaron Grantham just lost in a cloud of smoke, and now you start to see the difference between those Pro 2 and Pro cars as Barker puts a hammer down and drives away from Aaron Grantham.
Yep, and another, a fantastic run from Luke. However, we all know, we saw it yesterday, it is so hard to chase a slower car when you've got so much power and grip as Luke has in that GT86. So this will show how much skill Luke has got when he's going to be chasing Aaron Grantham, which is obviously clearly a slower vehicle. So this one could be interesting. Can Luke Barker control the power and the grip of that GT86 behind the E36 Kings BMW of Aaron Grantham?
Yeah, Aaron Grantham's car not shy of a few hundred horsepower either, so no slouch, that's for sure. And we've seen him do some damage before in that car. Look at that. Grantham not messing around, absolutely flies off the gate. Luke Barker says, look, let's play that game then. I can catch you up, not a problem. Aaron Grantham fires into outside zone 1, looks to go nice and high on the bank. Barker gives him the room to manoeuvre, now starts to rein him in, starts to drag down the side. As they fire into that first hairpin, Luke Barker keeps it together, keeps it on lock. Oh, Grantham goes super wide in the outside zone. Oh, wow! Luke Barker has to transition early and takes the rear bumper off Aaron Grantham's car, gets himself back into it and across the line. Judges will want to see a replay of that one.
Oh. This could be interesting. I mean, it remains to be seen whether Aaron Grantham is put at fault for causing Luke for that error, which we have seen in the past. And
I'm inclined to agree there.
Well,
I'm inclined to agree because I think Aaron Grantham was so wide on that part of the circuit. He left the transition way too late and it gave Luke nowhere to go, even though Luke had slowed down massively and positioned his car not where it needed to be for the transition. You can see here, this is the lead run of Luke Barker versus Aaron Grantham. If you guys are watching at home or on your phones on the banking, Luke Barker absolutely rocket ship drove away from Aaron Grantham. And Luke Barker puts on an absolute masterclass of a lead run there. Aaron Grantham, though, sticks to the qualifying line, does exactly what the judges told them to do in the briefing. And Luke and Aaron out of the car. And here we go. This is the replay of the lead of Aaron Grantham. Aaron Grantham up and out of that chicane and left Luke Barker standing. Luke Barker had to really think about that one because Aaron Grantham was up and gone, no messing around. And then Luke, you can see, shortcut the circuit down on outside zone 2 to try and gain that proximity back, found the back end of that BMW. This is where it starts to get a little bit messy. Aaron Grantham goes really wide, goes even wider again. Look, car understeers, drops wheels off track. Look, Luke has nowhere to go. He has to transition, and the bumper comes straight off. So judges deliberating this one. I think Aaron Grantham really at fault for that transition down into that first that first hairpin. You think differently?
I don't know. I mean, we've seen drivers go really deep on that outer zone before. I don't know. I'm not going to make a call. I'm going to let these three.
Going to let the judges do it. Let the judges get this one done and dusted. Well, Aaron Grantham stands there alongside Luke Barker.
The championship connotations on this one.
I mean, look, yeah, this championship connotation is like if Luke gets taken out now and Bagsy moves further forward, the points start to rack in Bagsy's favour and Bagsy starts to really move and push Luke into an area where he has to come to Silverstone to fight it out. So, judges asking for an alternative angle of the transition and the shot of Aaron going off track. Oh no, so the bumper comes off on the tyres, he's that wide. And Luke catches it on the transition. So, judges still deliberating this one. This one not an easy decision to make. Mark's back on the pens, got the abacus back out again to try and work out if Luke Barker can technically win it today if he doesn't move any further forward in competition.
If he gets knocked out now, he will get 8. It'll be 8 points. That's
all you're saying. That's all you're giving everyone. 8 points is all he gets.
He'll get 8 points if which will take him on to 90.
Wow. So looking back at these replays, judges still deliberating it, looking at how far off track Aaron Grantham was. Was it 3 wheels off track? That's what they're trying to determine. How far off track is off track? So judges having 2 different arguments here. One argument that Aaron Grantham, yes, was wide, did go way wide on that outside zone on the hairpin. But then they're saying that Luke Barker was on the wrong place on the transitions. He should have been further across the circuit, wouldn't have shut himself in on the second hairpin. So this one not as clear-cut as what it seems. But it looks like they do have a decision as soon as that graphic comes up onto the screen. Oh, one vote for Luke Barker. Rich Newton says Luke Barker gets the win. James says Luke Barker gets the win. Barker gets the win, strengthens the championship. James, you got the headset on. That one not an easy one to break down.
No, Ian, we were trying to check. Obviously, the first run was a fairly obvious advantage to Barker. On the driver's briefing, it clearly said where it gets to these outer zones, you're not meant to be going more than 2 wheels off. And even at 2 wheels, that's a big deduction. Now, there's 2 reasons. So Luke Barker actually won this twice. Aaron lost it twice. So I'll take you through slowly, if that's okay. So he's come through 3. He's going to look at the wide section at 4. If you slow it down, just at the very first section of 4, he's he's offside front wheel, he's behind the zone. He's definitely 3 wheels off. So that's a 0. But let's pretend that it wasn't a 0 and we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. He's gone so wide and so far offline for the transition. As he's come back across the transition, Luke's run the right line-ish to a degree. He's been put off. There's no way that Luke could have anticipated Aaron was going to go that wide. So when he then throws it in even deeper through 5 and then 6, Luke's got nowhere to go, has to take avoiding action up the inside. So that would have been a put off by the lead driver as well. Maybe it would have balanced out at 5-all, but Barker's won that twice.
So there we go. Luke Barker won that not once, but twice. Is that what a championship winner needs? Is that what a championship winner can do? Here we go. We go back to the start line. Justina Snorkers has taken on Rob Black. Rob Black having a borrowed time this weekend, made it through to the Great 8 yesterday, got himself into the show today, and then into the top 24, thumbs up all round. But Justina Snorkers will want to make a stop to that, want to get himself further up into that Funk Motorsport Great 8 and join Barker. They come down through the gears. Justina Snorkers, nice fast initiation, absolutely flying is Justina Snorkers. And Rob Black matches the pace as they come down South Bank into outside zone 3. Oh, wow, big angle and speed put on by both guys. Justina Snorkers does exactly what Aaron Grantham just did and use all the tarmac there available on track as Snorkers takes them across the line.
Yeah, that was good. That was good from both drivers. Rob Black there bringing the fight to Justina's, but that car smoking so much of Justin. How on earth? I mean, it's a good job Rob was close so he can keep a tab on where Justinus is on the circuit. And as we've said, the drivers will now swap positions. Rob Black will lead going into South Bank corner with Justinus chasing.
Yep, so Rob Black is in the lead position. He gets the thumbs up. Justina Snorkers to give chase, and Justina Snorkers will know that Rob Black had a pretty good proximity, not a bad chase. He needs to match that. Rob Black fires in the Jap Speed S15. Looks to go high up on the bank. Justina Snorkers sees the door open, starts to take a step in. A little wobble from Norkers as he fires on the angle. They come down into outside zone 3. Norkers with him on throttle, nice and early. You can hear him working that car, massaging it through the outside zones as he transitions up and to the side. Rob Black doing an impeccable job in that lead position. Rob Black absolutely there, but Norkers dialed onto the rear bumper.
Wow. What an epic pair of runs between the both of them. Wow, that was incredible. That was incredible. Both of them running that qualifying line, as told to, leave the door open for the chase driver to do exactly what we're here to see, and that is door-to-door action. Justina's clapping and giving a thumbs up to Rob in the Jap Speed S15. Rob will be buzzing as well in that S15. Oh, the decision's in. Justina's gets the win from all 3 judges. So Justina Snorkers takes the win from Rob Black in the Jap Speed S15. So we make it official, and Justina's takes the win and will go up against Luke Barker in the Funk Motorsport Great 8. So quite a straightforward decision from our 2 judges there.
Yeah, pretty clear cut.
3 judges even.
I think the decision was done there with the proximity from Justina Snorkers in the chase position. I think that was where that come down to. Incredible chase. So there we go, Justinas Norcos, Rob Black make their way off the circuit. We move along to the next battle, will be Stefan Stefanov to take on Owen Atkinson. And Owen Atkinson did an incredible job in his battle against Jay Wilding. Stuck it to the door, and Atkinson, like we said, knows every inch of the tarmac of this circuit here at Teesside Autodrome. But Stefan Stefanov was denied a spot on the podium at the last round here just a month ago, and Stefanov said, when I come back, I'm going to taste that champagne. I want the podium. Look at the pace he's carried in. But look at Atkinson, no messing around. Owen Atkinson looks for the door of the S15 as they come down into outside zone 3. Atkinson gives him some room to manoeuvre, makes a dive. Oh, he's going to go way wide. Just about holds on to it, does Owen Atkinson, as Stefanov gives him a nice lead to chase down. Stefanov on the foot brake, balancing the back end of that car into those outer zones, but Atkinson just can't find the side.
So, yeah, another display of how a lead run should be done, leaving room for the chase car to put their car on the door as we get, excuse me.
Mark smoked out in the tower.
Yeah. Excuse me, yeah. I don't know what rubber that is, but it stinks. As we get smoked out in the tower.
So there we go, both guys pull back to the start line. Owen Atkinson now to lead. Stefan Stefanov going to be breathing down his neck in that Dream Car Giveaways S13. They get the thumbs up all round. Owen Atkinson knows what he needs to do. He needs to give Stefanov the perfect lead. But that's only going to encourage some danger. Stefanov right onto the back bumper. Look at this initiation. Whoa, it's a weird initiation from Atkinson. He goes wide, drops a wheel off the edge of the circuit. Stefanov holds onto it, waits for him to get himself back onto the tarmac. As Stefanov fires down onto the inside, the camera clouded out in a cloud of tyre smoke and dust. As Stefanov once again takes a glance down the side of the RX-8, looks for the door, goes for the rear bumper, and Stefanov right with Atkinson.
As we pick them up, going back around to Dale on the start line to get the decision. And somewhere out there,
yeah,
somewhere out there,
there are people and a track and stuff and things.
And I think Paul's just running across track to attempt to put that clipping point back
together.
Up at clip 2.
So there we go, make it official. Stefanov gets the win. All 3 judges unanimous. Stefanov gets the win, advances through into the Funk Motorsport Grade 8. Owen Atkinson out of competition, but what a valiant effort. And once again, that man making it through to the top 16 mark. He's starting to make a move here. UKDC, every single round so far he's attended, he's made it into the Pro top 16, so doing a good job as our Marshall rebuilds that clipping point to his best ability. And we have one more battle to go in this side of the bracket of a top 16. It will be Arunas and Amontes to take on Callum Payne. Callum Payne now really being tested. Just became a pro yesterday, Pro 2 champion, and now he's going up against a man who's 3rd in the points and just being forced around. And had a message from Brad Wall saying that he didn't have engine issues. It was brakes that he'd lost. He'd lost all brakes, so unfortunately he couldn't stop the car once he'd started, so he had to abort.
I've had a message from Danny Wyman saying he's only got 350 brake horsepower.
350?
Yeah.
On a good day with the wind behind it, is that what he's saying?
Yeah, something like that.
So there we go, Callum Payne pulls to the line, stares across to Arunas.
And I think Arunas is going to be off that line like a scalded cat, personally.
Yeah, I mean...
And if Callum Payne has been watching, and presumably spotters told him that Arunas is so fast off this line that Callum is going to have to take the jump, because otherwise I just genuinely don't think he's going to keep up with him into this first corner. So Dale Bradley gives them the thumbs up, and away we go.
Yeah, through the chicane, under the start line they go. Arunas to lead out Callum Payne. Yeah, Callum Payne took the opportunity to have a little jump off the start line there to try and gain a little bit of ground as Arunas puts the hammer down, starts to drive away from Callum Payne. Callum Payne getting lost in the smoke as Arunas fires through outside zone 3. Callum Payne, though, starts to rein in a little bit of lost ground. Payne through the smoke comes, shortcutting the circuit, looks for the side of that E46 BMW, but Callum Payne has nothing in it as Arunas absolutely rips away.
Yeah, the difference in vehicles there showing with Arunas with a tremendous amount of power in that car, and obviously the grip dialed in on that BMW, and Callum Payne plans to upgrade that car ready for next season. And right, so we go back to the start line. So, but Arunas in that chase position, from experience, we know he's got the skill to be able to stick it to the slower car.
Yeah, he certainly has. He has the ability to slow that car down. As with all that power he's got, he's an incredible chase driver behind these slower cars. Down they come. Callum Payne's going to give him a really nice lead. Look at that initiation. Snaps to angle, really nice up and high on the bank. And look at Arunas right on the rear bumper he goes. A little wobble here and there, but Arunas balances that car down. They come into the outside zone. Look at Arunas on the rear bumper, on the door, on the wing mirror he goes as they transition into outside zone 4. Arunas up and to the side he goes. And he's going to teach the newly founded pro driver a lesson or two.
Now that is how you chase with a more powerful car, honestly. That, you could see him dabbing the brake, you could see him using the handbrake, the clutch, everything to sit on the car, the door of Callum Payne. And I mean, I think for me, that just shows the skill that Arunas, and that's exactly why he's third in the championship behind Bagsy and Luke Barker as we stand at the moment. So we look across to the judges.
Yeah, I think this one's going to be pretty clear-cut. The proximity from Arunas was just absolutely disgusting, and exactly what we come to watch and what we love to watch. Here we go, 1 vote for Arunas, 2 votes for Arunas. Arunas Namontes gets the win, advances through into the Funk Motorsport Grade 8. He'll be facing off against Stefanov for the final 4 battles. Wow, things heating up. There's going to be some real good battles coming up. We move it back to the start line. Tom Van Beek to take on Marcus Clare.
So yeah, the MX-5 against the R32. Both drivers on form. Tom said he managed to get that part fitted, and I said to him, your car doesn't quite sound quite right. He said, yes, I don't know what it is. He said, the part's fitted, it's been replaced, but he doesn't know, he still doesn't understand why it's missing a bit. So whether it's a connection on the wiring or what, so the car's not 100%, it's probably 95%, but it's still got that misfire. And then Marcus Clare in the R32. He's been on the podium here before in Drift Cup in the past, so we know Marcus Clare, and it was in this car as well, and I think it's been upgraded since then, because Marcus is absolutely on it here this weekend at UKDC.
Yeah, he was flying earlier on in practice today, and judges were saying if he can pull this off in qualifying, what he's doing in practice, he'll be way up there, and he did get himself into the show. 11th place in qualifying, just missed out on one of those Grade 8 spots. Nevertheless, has to do battle. He's moved forward already. Can he do it again? Can he take down Tom Van Beek? Through the gears they come. He's going to go for an early initiation. Van Beek goes way wide, but look at Marcus Clare, no messing around. Noses the back end, the front end, sorry, of that R32 Nissan Skyline onto the side, onto the back bumper of that MX-5, and Marcus Clare goes for a brave dive and can't pull it off, has to straighten and reinitiate. Now gets himself back into it, up and to the side. And that Skyline looks like a monster compared to Van Beek's car, but Van Beek shut it down across the line, straightened massively.
So yeah, so will that sway the judges so that then becomes an equal run?
I'm going to say that's a 5-5.
Yeah, mistake from both drivers, but was Marcus Clare's error bigger than Tom Van Beek's? That's the question.
I think they were equal, to be fair. Tom Van Beek stopped drifting from just after outside zone 5 all the way to the finish line. Marcus Clare, yeah, he was in the wrong place on track, made a dive, couldn't pull it off.
Well, we'll see what happens in this second half of the run, and I suspect we will be seeing a replay of that run. Tom Van Beek there getting the jump. As we said, they are allowed to jump so that he can get that proximity on that first corner, because he knows just how fast Marcus Clare is. Marcus Clare throws that R32.
Oh, wow, look at Van Beek.
And Van Beek is there, though. That MX-5 with about 450 brake horsepower, aiming for the rear quarter. And look at Tom Van Beek makes an error going out to that zone on the first hairpin. Has that sealed the fate? Will Marcus Clare be judged to have won that run and taken advantage over the pair of runs? I suspect that mistake could have just cost him, and I suspect that Marcus Clare. But we're going to see a replay of that first run.
I think Marcus Clare was handed a little bit of a gift there with that mistake from Tom Van Beek. This is the lead. This is where Marcus Clare made that massive mistake down onto that first hairpin. You can see Marcus Clare just no regard. Look at that. Fired it in. Incredible chase. Gets himself right where he needs to be, then gives Tom Van Beek the room to set himself up for outside zone 3, fires it in on angle, but then just has to reinitiate. Marcus Clare takes the win. That's Anthony Cletus. That is. If there's one man with the loudest voice at Teesside Autodrome, it's going to be Anthony Cletus. Is that you, Ant? Yeah, it is Anthony Cletus. Couldn't bring his car this weekend because he said he was too scared to drive. So we'll see him again in 2022. Here we go. Flags up in the air. Judges wanted to see a replay of the second half of the run.
What we'll do, Ant, we'll get Ian with a car at the Matsuri and he can show him how to do it.
I had more trophies in my cabinet while Anthony Cletus was still in school. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but ones from the Scouts don't count here.
They were definitely drift trophies. I remember them. That's for sure. Here we go. Look, this is a replay of the first run. So, not sure what the judges are looking for. I think they're looking for this mistake here from Marcus Clare to see what he did and how long he was. Yeah, so he was off for quite a while. He did manage to reinitiate and get himself back into the fight.
That was a less of an error from Tom van Beek over the line.
But he made it twice. That's the problem. I'm not
That's
sure.
That's why we're not judging.
I'm not sure. And I wouldn't want to judge this, to be honest with you, because it's two tough decisions.
There we go. It's unanimous. The winner of this battle between Marcus Clare and Tom van Beek, as we wait for Dale to show, it's Tom van Beek will take the win over Marcus Clare. So Tom van Beek moves into the Funk Motorsport Grade 8 with the MX-5, and we will get the guys heading down. So give them a round of applause as they come round, as James Grimsey gives an explanation.
We were looking at exactly how long. It's hard to look at in slow-mo because that sometimes makes things look worse. In real time, though, Marcus is shut down for so long. If you're in that position, you know you're in that position, you kick it straight away. But he tries to balance the car, settle it, and then have a go, and there's just too many pauses. As I described in the driver's briefing, if you're in that position, you've got to get it straight away, straight back on lock, and he didn't. So he kind of basically threw a 9-1 or 10-0 at that point. He's not going to come back from that.
So there we go.
Thank you.
Mistakes from Tom van Beek, not big enough to overturn. We go back to the start line. Matt Denham, now your third place qualifier to lead out Hayden Cruikshank. Hayden Cruikshank's already taken down Martin Wonnacott. Can he take down Matt Denham in the Jap Speed S13? Matt Denham not finding fate yet in the UK Drift Championship. Got himself a podium last weekend though. Tasted that champagne, he wants some more. Look at the separation. Denham balancing that car right to the edge of the circuit, screaming away. Looks like they've turned that car up to 11. And the grip as Hayden Cruikshank shortcuts the circuit, dives through the smoke, looks for the back bumper of the S13, just can't get there. As Denham fires across the line, incredible.
Yeah, awesome run from Denham. Hayden Cruikshank in that Cresta, not able to match the pace of that S13. Obviously, we saw Matt debut that car here at the last round. Unfortunately, he broke a CV joint during his first qualifying run. He scored a 0, and sadly, they were unable to get the car back onto the start line in time for his second run. But he's here today to make a point that he is a man to be reckoned with. And I know he's a good chase driver as well. So this should be epic.
Yeah, this should be the one. He pulls back up into the chase position. Hayden Cruikshank to lead them out. And Hayden Cruikshank knows that Matt Denham is going to be absolutely glued to the door of that Toyota Cresta. They come through the chicane down. You can see Matt Denham staring across, moves across the circuit onto the back bumper. He goes, nice initiation. Denham shallows up. Denham fires it right up onto the side, shallows up the angle, almost makes contact, doesn't make contact on South Bank. They come down into outside zone 3. Denham's going to go for it. It's hot on the heels of Hayden Cruikshank as they come through the outside zone. A wide transition from Cruikshank as he fires the back end in the face of Matt Denham. Matt Denham not scared though, puts the wheel on the door across the line.
Wow. Come on, Teesside, show your appreciation. That's how you chase when it comes to drifting. Matt Denham, absolutely exquisite driving there against Hayden, and Hayden will be buzzing as well. And it's the decision on the live stream there, Peden, for Matt Denham. Rich Newton says Matt Denham. It's a unanimous decision, and it will be Matt Denham in the Jap Speed S13. Takes the win and moves into the Grade 8, the Funk Motorsport Grade 8, and he will face Tom van Beek. So that one, again, another awesome battle we can look forward to. So Hayden Cruikshank in his spare car his chaser. Unfortunately, as the engine has expired, but Neodot Hayden has a fantastic time. So yeah, show your appreciation for both these drivers. Obviously, we'll see Matt Denham in the Jap Speed car once again in the front motorsport Grade 8. So we look to the next pair of cars will be Stephen Bagsy Biagioni against Danny Wyman. 350 spirit course in the Danny Wyman car, and Bagsy's running
over 700 now. Over 700 horsepower, almost close to 800 horsepower in the Monster Energy PS13 supercharged 7.4 LSX underneath the bonnet to take on the mighty powerful 4-cylinder SR20. And Danny Wyman, well, he's saying, look, I just want to battle Bagsy. Just battle of the PS13s, one completely different monster to another.
Danny asked if he could jump the start this morning in the briefing, and everybody said, well, yeah, if you want.
Well, he's going to jump this one by a mile length. Look at this. He doesn't take it. Doesn't take the jump. Maybe he thinks he's got enough in it to take down Bagsy. Bagsy comes through the gears. Danny Wyman looks for the rear end of the Monster Energy PS13. Bagsy way late on throttle, though, to get high up on the back. Starts to throw some smoke in the face of Danny Wyman. Danny Wyman stares down outside zone 3 as Bagsy starts to drive away. Proximity gained back, though, by Wyman on that hairpin. Can he jump through the smoke again? He certainly can. Wyman taking dives and jabs at Bagsy, but Bagsy absolutely pinpoint perfect.
Danny Wyman to get so close for so long, for me, yeah, fantastic. But again, we've said it was said in the briefing, it's more difficult to have a car like Steve's chasing a slower car like Danny's than it is the other way around. So Steve, theoretically, if you think about it, could be at a disadvantage on this run because Steve has now got to stick it to the door of Danny Wyman. Sam will be up there, his spotter, telling him, listen, Danny wasn't that far off. He was on your door when he needed to be. Yes, there was some separation, so Bagsy, he's going to have to pull it out of the hat here.
He certainly is going to have to pull it out of the hat, and we know Bagsy's not one to be too worried about trading paint. Almost takes the back bumper off Wyman's PS13 as they fire in outside zone 1. Bagsy shallows up the angle. Wyman keeps his cool, holds it on angle. Nice line from Wyman as he absolutely pinpoint on circuit. It's Danny Wyman, but Bagsy's there onto the door, looks for the transition. Bagsy times it nicely as Danny Wyman collects the outside zone. Wyman on an absolute blistering lead line, but Bagsy's there and the door is open.
Fantastic. Make sure you give these two a round of applause once the decision has been made and they head round back in front of you. 2 PS13s going door to door here up at Teesside Autodrome. Dale Bradley there showing his appreciation for the two drivers as they go back round to the line. Dale holds up the flag ready for the decision to be made. Danny Wyman thumbs up at Bagsy underneath the thing, and the decision has been made, and it's there on the live stream.
Yeah, there we go. Decision's in. Bagsy gets the win. We wait the flag to drop to make it unanimous. Yeah, Bagsy gets the win. Out of the car, he's going to say congratulations to Danny. That was a really good battle. Look, Danny Wyman's line was perfect in that lead position. He didn't put a foot wrong, even with Bagsy breathing down his neck. Very, very nice. And Bagsy's strengthening his championship once again. Starts to move forward. Every move that Luke Barker makes, Bagsy makes the same move. But who will he be battling in the Funk Motorsport Grade 8? Will it be Jamie Stanton? Will it be Oliver Baker? And you know what? Oliver Baker will be praying to God that he can take out Jamie Stanton, because not only would today of Oliver Baker got the photo, the recreation photo that was taken years and years ago, but he will get to battle Bagsy, and I know Oliver Baker would love that.
Well, this is it. I mean, where are all the local people out that are going to be supporting Oliver Baker in this one? Where are you? Oh, come on. We had better than that when I asked where you were. Ollie Baker's fans, where are you? There we go. Where's the Jamie Stanton fans at? Oh, he's over here somewhere. I was looking for Sarah, but I can't see where she is.
No, I can't see where she is
either.
Well, there we go. Jamie Stanton, your first place qualifier on the line, comes off, gets a bye run into this top 16. Oliver Baker's already done battle 2 E36s, both JZ powered. They fire down. Look at this from Stanton, though. Clinical as always. That perfect 93-point run, putting in work right now as he comes down into outside zone 3. Oliver Baker just cannot match the pace of Jamie Stanton's BMW as they come through the middle of the circuit. Jamie Stanton hammers down, looks for the outside zone, and across the line goes Stanton.
Yeah, that car certainly working well. Both cars working very, very well. But obviously, Jamie has got that car absolutely dialed. I know he was working on it this week, and that's why it was a last-minute entry. He only let me know on Friday that it was definitely going to be taking part after they got the car sorted Friday. And sorted, it certainly is. But, again, he's got to chase Ollie. Now, Ollie's really, really quick, and he knows this track like the back of the hand. Like I said, local driver, so he knows this track like the back of his hand. Regular here at the practice days. So Jamie Stanton's got to stick it on his door without making a mistake. Ollie Baker gets it absolutely pinned. A little bit of a flick transition. Jamie Stanton backs off a little bit. Now he's got to put it in the pocket of Oliver Baker. But Oliver Baker running a perfect line deep in 3. We know he runs a wide line round here, which is exactly what the judges have asked for. But Jamie Stanton is there. The transition. Jamie Stanton puts it on the door of Ollie Baker. Feel that second hairpin, literally door to door over the line. A fantastic pair of runs from both drivers in those E36s.
Yeah, textbook there. Textbook lead and chase from Oliver and Jamie Stanton. Jamie Stanton was on form. And judges just having a chat and talking amongst themselves and looking through the next few battles that are coming up. And there we go. We're waiting for a decision to drop in of Oliver Baker, Jamie Stanton. Jamie Stanton gets 1 vote from Rich, 2 votes from the judges. It's unanimous. Jamie Stanton moves through into the Funk Motorsport Grade A. Oliver Baker bows out of competition, but what a drive from that young man. An absolute superstar in the making.
Yeah, make sure you, like I say, make sure you give them both a round of applause. Ollie Baker, he's going to be a star of the future without question.
Oh, without a shadow of a doubt.
No
without
doubt.
a shadow of a doubt. Here we go. Here is your Funk Motorsport Grade 8 coming up. Luke Barker to take on Justinas Norkus. Stefan Stefanov to take on Arunas Namontas. Tom Van Beek to take on Matt Denham. And Bagsy to take on Jamie Stanton. I don't know. I mean, this is an exciting Grade 8. We're talking about championships. Yesterday we decided our Pro 2 championship. Today, Luke Barker bowled into this place. Ballsy as hell, like, I'm going to finish the deal today. Today's the day it's going to get finished. I'm going to decide the championship. Justinas Norkus pulls up to the line. He says, you calm yourself down a little bit there, buddy, because it's not over until it's over. And we've got Silverstone yet, where we go 110 plus miles an hour into that Brooklands corner. Barker's not on form. The car not looking 100%. He's fast, don't get me wrong, but he's been shaky in practice. Is it all going to be holding together? Justinas Norkus, the higher qualifier to lead them out.
Yeah, let's see if Justinas, well, he'll run that perfect lead line and allow Barker to sit that GT86 on the door, and then obviously we will swap them round. But in the meantime, Justinas Norkus then comes down into South Bank corner, first clipping point, and he's wide.
Oh, he's got too wide. He's gone way too wide. He's gone way
off.
too wide. Justinas Norkus knew he had to throw everything and the kitchen sink at it. And Luke Barker has just been gifted a lifeline there because Norkus was up and gone out of there. And Justinas Norkus had to do everything to try and get away. So there we go. Justinas Norkus takes that car off track.
And I think he might have debeaded a tyre, perhaps.
Look at this. The speed that Justinas Norkus came into that clipping point 1 was just insane. He was flying. There was no messing around for Justinas Norkus. He knew what he had to do. He knew who was chasing him down. And look at this for Norkus. Fires it in. Big angle, 90 degree. Barker's like, where are you going, buddy? God, look at that. 4 wheels off the track at one point there as it bumped and jumped across the circuit.
Yep,
he's got a DB, so he's going to need to call a 5-minute rule.
Yeah, that will definitely be a 5-minute rule. So that will be his first 5-minute rule of the top 24. He'll get this one and then another one if he makes it through to the top 4. So Luke Barker with a huge advantage. Huge advantage,
yeah. Luke Barker with a massive advantage right there. And Luke Barker now sits on the line with almost 1 foot into the final 4. So there we go. Luke Barker makes his way down to the start line. He knows, though, that Justinas Norkus is going to go and need to take a look at that car and get a 5-minute rule going. And Luke Barker parks it up and waits for Justinas Norkus to go get that car repaired. We are going to call the next battle forward. It will be Stefan Stefanov to take on Arunas Namontas. Now, this one is going to be a big one. Again, Stefanov missed out on the podium at round 3, said he's going to come back. He said he was back for a podium. He wanted to taste the champagne, but Arunas, currently 3rd in the points, he knows that he needs to beat Stefanov to keep that championship hope alive. If Bagsy gets knocked out and Stefanov and Arunas can get into the final 4, maybe Arunas can leapfrog Bagsy for 2nd place on the championship. Hope Mark just...
Yeah, there's only 7. There's 7 points between Bagsy and Arunas in the championship standings at this moment in time, and theoretically, Stefan could be jumping above Hayden Cruikshank as well, because Hayden Cruikshank currently 4th in the championship with 42 points.
Well, there we go. Both guys warm tyres, pull up to the start line. It will be Arunas to lead out Stefanov. And we await the thumbs up. There we go. They give the thumbs up to our start line Marshall Dale, and they're off through the chicane. They go. Arunas to lead, Stefanov to give chase. Both cars almost equally matched. Arunas flicks the car left to right. Early initiation from Stefanov, though, as he slides that car right up on South Bank. Starts to get a little bit of smoke thrown in his face, so as they come down, and a little wobble from Stefanov as he dives up onto the side. In outside zone 5, they come through. And Stefanov takes a big jump, a big leap of faith right up onto the door of Arunas' BMW. Stefanov on the door. Wow, these two guys not messing around. Messing around.
Fantastic. Absolute. Both smoke machines as well. We know what Stefan's going to do in that lead position, and he is going to smoke out Arunas just like he's had done to him. As I cover my mouth with my T-shirt, because we're going to get gassed out by whatever tyre smoke that is this time round.
So there we go. Both guys pull back up to the start line. Stefanov now in the lead position. Arunas to give chase, and Arunas knows he needs to stick that BMW 46 to the door of that Dream Car Giveaways S13. So they get the thumbs up. They all clear in the tower to go. Stefanov takes off through the chicane. Arunas looks across, waits for Stefanov to put the hammer down. Falls into line. Both initiate at the same time. Little left foot brake lock up there from Stefanov as he sets the car up perfectly in outside zone 2. Arunas jumps onto the back bumper now, makes him set himself up in the outside zone as Arunas dives through the smoke up onto the side. Now Arunas starts to trade paint with Stefanov as he gets up onto the rear bumper.
Wow.
That's close. That's and the track absolutely smoked out. Just cannot see a thing again. So judges talking about this one, deliberating, and the sun's come back out once again as it shines down here at Teesside Autodrome.
Of course, the event wouldn't be possible without our awesome sponsors: Hell Performance, Garage D, Dorenza, Funk Motorsport, Corbo Seats, Driven Racing Oils, and the guys congratulate each other for an epic pair of runs, an epic battle. Driven Racing Oils and ASNU Fuel Injectors, and the live stream brought to you by CTRL. So the judges deliberating who on earth has taken this one. Who thinks Stefan's got the win? Who thinks Arunas has got the win? Who'd like to see him run one more time?
A lot of people, yeah. I think they're going to be. I think they're going to get their wish. You know, I think this is going to go one more time.
I don't know. Blady just had a wry smile on his face when I asked that question. Chunk's just sipping his drink.
Here we go. One vote for a one more time. Two votes for a one more time. It is going to be a one more time. James, over to you. One more time.
Crowd got it right. It's really simple. If you were going to go on purity of runs, I think Arunas had a slightly better lead. And if you could look at the chases, Arunas did a little bit of a dive here that didn't pay off, and Stefan's chase was fractionally better. But there's such small margins between them, I'd rather see him again.
So there we go. Nothing in it. Just rather see them run one more time. Those guys are going to need to go back to the pits to get some tyres. And then we are going to find out what is happening with our battles. Luke Barker versus Justinas Norkus. So will it be the second half of the battle between Luke Barker and Justinas Norkus?
So yeah, those two drivers, huge respect for each other in their competitions, and I can hear tyres being warmed up.
Yeah, so we're going to move it along again to another battle in our Grade 8, Funk Motorsport Grade 8, and it will be Tom Van Beek to take on Matt Denham.
So yeah, the Team Japspeed driver, like I say, fresh off a victory last weekend at the Drift Pro event at Donington.
Yeah, Tom Van Beek in that little Destroy or Die Mazda MX-5.
Yep, Destroy or Die. Mr. Pryor, who does MX-5 parts. If you've got an MX-5, Destroy or Die are the people to be in touch with. Ian.
So there we go, Matt Denham to lead him out. Matt Denham not messing around. Oh, big separation, fires that car across. Denham on an absolute flyer at the moment. Tom Van Beek, nothing in it at the moment as we see Matt Denham fire his way down to outside zone. Tom Van Beek not even attempting to try and shortcut the circuit to gain back some proximity as Denham smokes up the tyres on the back of that Japspeed S13, and Tom Van Beek has no answer.
No, I think that's that S13. I believe it's capable of 800 brake horsepower. Whether it's actually dialed up to that today, I don't know. I know it's a DY Engines JZ underneath the bonnet of that S13. We've seen quite a few DY engines out here already, especially the guys from Garage 500. I know they run DY engines. Right, so again, this is when Denham will show how good he is chasing down the lower powered car in this battle as Tom Van Beek leaves the start line ahead of the Team Japspeed S13, and they head down from the start line into South Bank corner. Matt Denham still not holding back. No, despite the fact that he's got so much more power than Tom Van Beek, and Tom Van Beek absolutely wringing the neck of that MX-5 with about 450 brake horsepower, so a huge deficit. But look at Matt Denham showing exactly how you can drive a more powerful car behind a lesser powered car. Matt Denham all over the Tom Van Beek all the way through that run. Fantastic driving from both. Tom Van Beek running that perfect qualifying line, and Matt Denham able to control that S13 and put it on his door perfectly all the way around the track here at Teesside Autodrome.
Yeah, incredible run there from Denham and Van Beek. Van Beek on such a nice lead line. It just opened the door for Matt Denham to get up and close and personal and drove that car with perfection. Look at that. Tom Van Beek puts his thumbs up like to say, well, that was a masterclass there in lead and chase driving. So we await the decision to drop in on our screen. Who is taking it through to the final four? There we go. Matt Denham gets the win, advances through to the final four. Our first driver into the final four is Matt Denham. So our first driver into the final four after we've seen a few battles, yet not one person apart from Matt Denham able to make it through. Cleanly, Denham gets the job done. Tom Van Beek, though, put up a fight. And we are trying to find out if Justina Snorkus is available to come back out to do battle.
Well, I saw his car up in the holding area.
Right.
While we were looking at the decision between Tom Van Beek and there he is.
Oh, and there he is. There is Justina Snorkus happy to go again. So this is the second half of the battle between Justina Snorkus and Luke Barker.
Yeah, and of course Luke Barker with a huge advantage, a 10-0 advantage as it were, on the first run, with Justinus going a little bit too hard and fast at clip 2 and going to the beach, unfortunately, and DB'd in a rear tyre. So we've given him a chance to get that wheel change, get back to the line. Right, here we are then, championship leader Luke Barker heads off the line from Justinus Snorkus.
Yeah, Luke Barker through the gears, through the chicane, down he comes. Justinus Snorkus knows he has nothing to lose right now. He needs to try and stick it to the door and hope that Luke Barker makes a mistake, but Justina Snorkus catches a whole load of understeer in outside zone 2. Luke Barker starts to drive away once again. Looks like Barker has this one in the bags. They transition through into the second hairpin. Luke Barker on an absolute flyer. Justina Snorkus can't hold on and just has to finish up the run on his own. So pretty sure that's going to be an easy decision for our judges as we await for the graphic to drop up on the screen. Luke Barker with a huge advantage after the first half of the run. So there we go, guys, pull back to the start line. Flags was up. Justin Snorkers throws his hands in the air. Yeah, there we go. Unanimous. Luke Barker gets the win, advances through to the final four. Who will he be battling? Will it be Stefan Stefanoff or Arunas? We are yet to find out. We have 2 more battles to go. Bagsy versus Stanton, and then one more time of Arunas versus Stefan Stefanoff. So there we go. They go back in the cars. Luke Barker makes his way back to the paddock to get that car reset and ready for action once again. And Justina Snorkus was ready to do anything to try and take down Luke Barker. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as they come past. There we go. Off they go. Right, we are trying to find out off our clock, of course, Steve, who is up next. Is it going to be Bagsy versus Stanton? And it is, so still no word yet from Arunas and Stefanoff, still not made their way back. So Bagsy pulls up to the tyre warming area up to warm up the tyres on the front and the rear of that Monster Energy PS13. Jamie Stanton, though, a heavy contender. Jamie Stanton now takes on Bagsy. This one's going to be... not sure how this one's going to play out. Bagsy's, been on form today. Chase driving's been on point, but Jamie Stanton's leads are just there.
Bagsy's been virtually pulling 90-degree entries into that first corner, just so you know he's warming those watching at home and those on the banking, glancing across to Steve. He's warming up his front tyres as well as his rear tyres, doing those figure of eights, because obviously we saw it last round actually. Steve dialed in so much grip into the rear end of that car. When it came to his battle against Luke Barker at round 3, the car just understeered all the way around the banking because he dialed so much grip in. So they need those front tyres warmed up, just as important as warming up those rear tyres for the grip.
Well, there we go, on the line, ready to rock and roll. Jamie Stanton to take on Steve Bagsy. Biagioni thumbs up all round, and Stanton, your first place qualifier, leads them down. Back bumper already hanging off of that BMW E36 of Jamie Stanton's. Bagsy looks to go for it. Early initiation from Stanton, fires on the angle. Bagsy with him though. Bagsy matches the angle. Going to go way aggressive is Bagsy as he jumps up onto the door of Stanton's BMW. They come down into outside zone 3. Bagsy matches the angle. Stanton on an absolute flyer. That perfect lead line as he transitions to outside zone 4. Bagsy with him again. Contact on the front wheels. Bagsy not messing around. Bagsy hungry for it. Almost makes a mistake across the line.
Wowzers. Well, Jamie Stanton, top qualifier, so we know he's got almost that perfect run. But again, running that perfect line, once again allowing Bagsy to sit on his door all the way around. Steve having to use all his knowledge and skill, and that's why he's one of the top drivers in the DMEC Championships in Europe. So yeah, now it's whether or not Jamie Stanton can stick it to Bagsy on this run. I remember Jamie Stanton the first time we were up at Driftland during Drift Cup, and Jamie Stanton was in an E36 Tourer, and he ended up doing a run with half a pair of tyres to get through. He just shows how he's come on in the last couple of years. Here he is up against Bagsy in the Funk Motorsport Grade 8 here at UKDC. So no, awesome to see Jamie doing so well, and he's now going to try and stick that E36 on the door of the Monster Energy PS13.
Well, he's certainly got the equipment for the job. Can he keep up with Bagsy? Bagsy's going to go for one of those big, wild 90-degree entries. Can he hold on to it? Bagsy's going to go way wide, just about keeps it on circuit. That leads Stanton into the dirt. Stanton had to back out of it. Bagsy leading Stanton into a false sense of security as they come down into the first hairpin. Bagsy starts to pull away as he fires into outside zone 4, fires some smoke in the air, and Jamie Stanton just cannot recover from that loss of proximity in the first half of the run. Yeah. Jamie Stanton led into a false sense of security there, just couldn't match the pace and the grip of Bagsy's car and just led right to the edge of the circuit, and Stanton ended up throwing wheels off track. Who is going to take it through to the final 4 to face off against Matt Denham? Will it be Bagsy? Will it be Jamie Stanton? And our start line marshal Dale holds the flag high in the air. We await for the graphics to pop on screen. Here we go. 1 vote for Bagsy. Oh, it's unanimous. Bagsy gets the win. Stanton out of competition. And Bagsy progresses through to take on Matt Denham in the final 4 spot, and the final things are heating up. We go back to the other side of the bracket now as Jamie Stanton says to him, "Oh, dude, I almost had you." Bagsy's saying one day, buddy. Yeah, one day. Good luck with that. There we go. Bagsy and Jamie Stanton, ladies and gentlemen. So Stefan Stefanov and Arunas and Amontas sit in the background, ready to do a one more time battle. One more spot in the final four awaits. And anything the Barker's doing, Bagsy's doing. And this is tit for tat at the moment. These two are going to take it all the way to Silverstone. I've got that feeling.
I hope so. I hope so.
I've got that feeling. Matt's doing the maths. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Bagsy and Jamie Stanton as they take their way off circuit. Jamie Stanton led down the garden path by Bagsy, ended up putting wheels off the track. So there we go, Arunas and Amontas pulls up to the line, bonnet off of the car. Is that a telltale story of the car situation for Arunas? We know these cars have been doing double duty between UKDC and the British Drift Championship. These cars now starting to feel the pace a little bit, feel the temperature. Sun shining once again at Teesside Autodrome. As Stefan Stefanov pulls up into the chase position, jumps the line. Stefanov now knows the pace. He's felt out Arunas. He knows what he's got and how he puts it down. And this time, Stefanov not letting Arunas get away, starting to make the dive already. Arunas high up on the bank, Stefanov in the smoke. Look at this, Arunas fires down. Oh, and Stefanov shallows up, almost straightens down into outside zone 3.
Arunas is off.
And Arunas fires it into the gravel, into the tyres. Wow.
Arunas completes the run, but that... I'm looking across and I'm going to, I mean, you've got to say that that is off track if he's that deep into the tyre wall.
So judges are going to want to see a replay of that run before we head to the second half of the run.
So yeah, so obviously Arunas' car will just get checked over by Dale on the start line, make sure nothing else is going to fall off apart from the bumper, which is down on the first hairpin. And a big thank you to all our staff here this weekend, from Sarah and Anna on the gate to our three judges, Peden, Rich and Blady, James. We've got Stewie on scoring. Ian stood next to me.
I'm always here. I'll always be here.
Dale Kirby and the crew who look after the drivers.
So let's take
on the line.
a look at this. Arunas absolutely flying. Stefanov, though, with the initiation. Look at that. They both initiate at the same time. Stefanov matches the angle, doesn't get too close. He knows, just needs to be in that pocket so he can see the front wheel of Arunas' car, matches the angle. This is where he makes an error. Yeah, look, Stefanov, front wheels were straight, but Arunas goes off track just as the camera goes out of focus. So both guys down there, and Stefanov talking to our start line marshal Dale, just wondering if maybe he needs a 5-minute rule, check that car out if there was contact.
I mean, I think Arunas was just going a little bit too deep, a little bit too fast, and I think Stefan backed off because he saw him going into the wall. Personally,
so I think we're going to see an alternative camera angle. Let's see if we can get a shot where the camera is in focus and the judges can see what exactly happened between Arunas and Stefan.
Yeah, certainly nothing untoward on there.
I don't think it was contact, to be honest with you. I don't think.
I mean, Stefan straightened, but then, I mean, the car he just backed out of it there when he.
There was contact, but Arunas went into the tyres first. Yeah,
so there was contact after Arunas hit the tyres, basically.
So I'm going to say that Stefanov's going to want to call a 5-minute rule, get that car checked out before he heads back out for the second half of the run. He does, in my opinion, have a 10-0 advantage over Arunas. That was Arunas' fault. So Marshall's just heading out on track.
So yeah, Arunas there just checking his car. But once again, we'll just thank our sponsors, ASNU Fuel Injection, Driven Racing Oils, for all your fluids. They even do fuel as well, Driven Racing Oils, for lawnmowers and stuff. So yeah, have a check out their website and see what they do. Corbo seats, obviously, for your bucket seats, harnesses, safety equipment. Funk Motorsport for your heat management requirements. If your cables and stuff are running near your manifolds, these are the guys that you need to be talking to, especially if you want a blanket to cover your turbo, stop the heat with inside the engine bay. Dorenza Performance, obviously, are specialists, especially with the MVT intercooler, multi-vane intercooler, which keep your intake temperatures down, and lots of other parts, wheel spacers and all sorts. Garage D, any Japanese car parts, hashtag in stock. Speak to Julian O'Dara down south there, and Julian will have them in stock. On Hell Performance for all your brake lines requirements and other lines as well.
Well, look, you've spoken about the sponsors, and a huge thank you to them, but let's take a quick ad break. Ladies and gentlemen at home, don't go anywhere. We'll be back after a few minutes' time with more action here at round 4 of our Pro Championship.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
More horsepower, less wear, better performance. Introducing new GP1 high-performance driven racing oil, developed specifically for competition, classic, and import vehicle applications.
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and for you guys wondering what's going on, where we've been, well, that was a quick ad break and a quick word from our sponsors. We are currently waiting for Stefan Stefanov to make his way back out on track after a small incident with Arunas Namontes in the first hairpin outside zone 4. So he's back in the paddock. Judges saying it is a competition timeout because if there is any damage, it was caused by Arunas, who was going off track.
Yep, so Arunas at fault. The contact obviously happened because Arunas hit the tyre wall, and Stefan, we saw him on the replay, put his arms up in the air, say, well, what am I supposed to do? So he has a competition timeout, so he has time to go and fix that car. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and Stefan will be back, and we will get this second part of this battle underway as soon as possible. So Arunas there just taking a few minutes with Dale up on the start line. So as I was saying, yeah, big thank you to everybody here. And thank you to Teesside Autodrome for allowing us to come back here year on year to put on drift events here at this incredible... Are you all having a good time on the banking?
Yeah, they've woke up.
Well,
The sun's
one or
out.
two.
The sun's out
I said,
now.
are you having a good time on the banking? What do you reckon, Ian?
Yeah, they're having fun.
Should we go for a wave?
They're not going to do a wave.
You
No
know-
way. No way.
Do
Not
you,
yet.
do you reckon you could do a Mexican wave? I said, do you reckon you could do a Mexican wave?
No chance.
Yes. Somebody said yes. Right, well, I'll tell you what then.
We're seeing a replay at the moment.
Oh, sorry.
We're going to see a replay.
I was interacting with the crowd here so if you're watching up on the banking on Facebook, I nearly said Bookface because that's what I call it, but on Facebook, Arunas into that first corner. Beautiful line, right deep on clipping point 2. Stefan there a little bit shy, and he does straighten a little bit. However, goes back on it, but then Arunas hits the banking. Stefan has nowhere to go, and there's a little bit of contact, and Stefan stops, and Arunas finishes off his run, albeit straight through to 4, around the clipping zone at 5, and then 6.
Yeah, judges deemed Arunas at fault there for that, so, you know, look, his competition timeout, he gets, I think, a maximum of 10 minutes to fix that car now, so we are waiting to find out how long Stefan Stefanov is going to be fixing that car, what the damage is, if there is any damage, and getting back out on track to finish off the second half of the run between him and Arunas Namontes for the final spot into the Final Four. Luke Barker made his way into the Final Four already. We have Matt Denham and Bagsy also in that Final Four.
So back to the crowd actually here that came out to watch some drifting here at Teesside Autodrome. They've all had, well, we've witnessed some incredible battles. So apparently they're just doing a quick alignment check on Stefan's car in the paddock. So it's obviously the rear wheel that's taken a knock. So they're just aligning that up. Like I say, it's a competition timeout, so it's not deemed as his own fault. If it was a mechanical failure, it would be a 5-minute rule. Oh, look, there we are. Look, we see the crowd on the banking. Right, you can't see yourselves.
Can't see themselves, no.
Can't see yourselves. Right, I'm going to look around the side of the tent. Right, that young man over there, I can see him. He's leaning forward on the back of a chair. That's him. That's it. Yeah, that's you. Yes. Sorry, I don't know your name, obviously. Hello. Right, I'm going to start with you guys over there, and then we're going to work our way around the banking and see if we can't do a wave all the way round to that young man sat right in the corner. Is the man in the hammock gone? Oh,
He's
hammock's gone.
Yeah, the man in the hammock's gone. I don't know
where
is
in a
hammock,
hammock.
man?
Right, so it's that young man sat all on his own.
He works for Teesside. You've just dropped him right in it.
Have I?
Yeah, he was working for Teesside. You've just literally.
Do you reckon we can get him
going to get
wave?
the sack now.
Oh, well. Right, so if we start over there, right, we go on 3, shall we? 1, 2, 3, go! Oh, look at this. Hey, Ian, it's working.
You've actually got him to do it.
I know.
I can't believe it.
I know.
There's no way
I told
Anthony
you.
Cletus will stand up. Oh, Anthony Cletus ruined it.
Oh. Look, we're still going. We're still going. We're still going.
Anthony Cletus, 10 minutes later with the Mexican wave. Is it still going?
There was some energy there from that guy in that red hoodie. I know that.
Now it skipped. Oh, it skipped a massive lump.
It skipped a bump.
It skipped. It's not. It's got. It stopped. Stopped dead on his face there.
Died.
That guy in the blue
Disappointing.
T-shirt stood up. He was ready for action. He was like, I was ready for the Mexican wave. He is used to. He zeroed out even on a Mexican wave.
And that was Blady.
There he. Oh, late to the party as always is Anthony Cletus. There we go. So there we go. We are having some fun here at Teesside Autodrome as we wait to get our final run of our Funk Motorsport Grade 8
and
finished
I've just
up.
had the word that he's on his way round.
So he's on his way back to the start line. So Stefan Stefanov ready to rock and roll. Arunas is going to get into his car, strap himself in, ready for the second half of the One More Time battle. And Stefan Stefanov sits with a 10-0 advantage against Arunas because Arunas deemed at fault for going off track. So we should assume that we would see Stefanov to take on Barker in the Final Four for a spot in the final. And it will be Denham to take on Bagsy. That one going to be interesting. There we go. You can see in the background at the back end of the circuit, Stefanov making his way around to join Arunas Namontes on the start line. So there we are.
Yep, got his car fixed, back on the line. And we can see, like you said, in the background, you can see Bagsy and Luke Barker. So Stefan is just waiting for Arunas just to warm up those tyres. Obviously it's nice and warm out there still, but the guys need some heat in those tyres before they enter into South Bank Corner. With a amount of they need some grip into South Bank Corner. As I explained before, when you enter into South Bank Corner, you think you're going to go off into the beach. Every single time you enter that first corner, it is so fast, and you really have to have the confidence in your car, your suspension and your tyres right. We get them lined up. Dale will give them the thumbs up. They give each other the thumbs up. Here we go for the second run of this One More Time.
Yes, second half of the One More Time battle. Arunas to chase down Stefanov for a spot in the Final Four. Awaits almost contact on initiation. And look at this from Arunas. He knows He's got a disadvantage. He knows he needs to force the win in his hand, but can he do it as Stefanov comes down into outside zone 3? No messing around this time. Stefanov makes his way through that outside zone. The smoke absolutely billows up in front of the camera. We can barely see as they transition around the final hairpin, wheel to wheel, across the line.
Arunas now, Monta, showing what could have been, but obviously with a 10-0 advantage to Stefan, you would almost see it's the writing on the wall. We will make it official on the screen and with Dale on the start line. So Arunas, while he was sat there waiting, must have been thinking, well, I've got to do whatever I can, and he did. He couldn't do any more, put the pressure on, but there it is on the live stream. Stefanov moves it forward and will face Luke Barker in the first of our semi-finals.
So there we go, decisions in and done, and Arunas bows out of competition. Unfortunately, that's going to hurt his championship with Stefanov behind him in the points now, potentially leapfrogging him. Stefanov needs to go back now and get some fresh tyres before he can battle Luke Barker for a spot in the final. So we're going to jump to the other side of the bracket, and we will be running Bagsy versus Denham.
Yeah, while Stefan catches his breath, goes back into the pits probably. I don't know if he'll get away with using that pair of tyres once again. So a round of applause from Arunas, showing exactly what we're made of. Arunas this morning was saying he cannot wait to come Silverstone. He's watched drivers there before and he wants a bite of the cherry. So yeah, that's the 3rd of October within the car show track. So we look at the graphic for those of you at home. We've got Matt Denham in the Team Japspeed S13 versus Steve Bagsy Biagioni in the Monster Energy S13. Up next, I can see Bagsy's up there. Looking to see if we've got Mr. Denham.
Yeah, so this is for a spot in the final, So a big moment for Bagsy, because to keep the championship alive, he needs to get into the final to battle Barker.
Regardless.
If Barker gets into the final, regardless, to keep this moving and to keep this going to Silverstone. So Mark doing the numbers, doing the maths, and not sure if it's possible, or could Barker do it today? Could he take it home today? That is the question. I don't know if there's enough in it. If Bagsy takes him through to the final and gets into the final as well against Bagsy, who knows? Mark's going to do the maths. We can see Denham and Bagsy down there ready to rock and roll. And as soon as they are ready, we're going to pull them onto the tyre warming area. There we go. We can see Matt Denham making his way down to warm up the tyres on that Japspeed S13. DY Engines 2JZ underneath the bonnet, car built by Clark Customs. Absolutely incredible build. And Matt Denham piloting it absolutely flawlessly so far this weekend, showing exactly what a driver he is. So we go, Denham pulls up into the lead position, the higher qualifier of the two drivers. So there we go, Bagsy in the background, just making Matt Denham wait a couple of minutes before he pulls in to warm his tyres, and Bagsy may be playing some mind games. Or he's on the radio to his spotter asking what they should have for dinner tonight. Is it going to be chicken dinner? Is it going to be a winner-winner chicken dinner? That's what he's asking his spotter Sam on the radio. Are we eating chicken tonight, or is it going to be steak? So there we go, Bagsy warms up the tyres on the back of that Monster Energy V8 supercharged PS13. While Mark still does the maths in the background, abacus going, counting his fingers and toes, trying to work out if there's enough points in it. And then Bagsy pulls up to the start line. Matt Denham gives him the thumbs up, doors ready to slam shut, and we are ready to send him on the way. This is for a spot in the final. Who is going to take it through to the final? Will Matt Denham get himself into another final? He was there last weekend at Drift Pro. He took the win. Can he do it again here? Now the UK Drift Championship Pro.
He could spoil the party for Bagsy here.
Could he really?
Yeah, as far as from what I can work out, he could spoil the party here.
Wow,
but
so
we
here
will
we go.
make it official later on, but for now.
Yeah, let's see what happens underway right now. Matt Denham versus Bagsy. Denham leads him in. Bagsy matches the initiation. Bagsy's going aggressive. Understeers again. That Teesside Southbank catching Bagsy out. He loses some ground, loses some proximity. He has to think about it, get himself back into it. Now Bagsy back in the fight. Denham on a lovely lead line. Flicks that car from left to right. Bagsy finds the door once again. Denham sets himself up. Bagsy onto the back bumper across the line. Oh, that's Southbank for Bagsy. Just again, caught him out. Looks like they gripped that car up a little bit more. So they made their way right back around to the start line, and Bagsy will now lead out Matt Denham. Matt Denham has now got the opportunity. He would be on the radio to the spotter saying, I mean, it was up and down, it was in and out. What do I do? He's going to glue it to the door and pray to God.
So, yeah, thumbs up from Steve there across to Matt on the start line. These guys have huge amounts of respect for each other. Thumbs up to both. Bagsy's off that line. Matt Denham then in the chase position from Bagsy. Bagsy's championship at stake. He's got to pull
wow!
Off. Wow! Look at the rear.
Oh! Wow. And contact.
Southbank corner.
Once again catches Bagsy out. Southbank corner catching Bagsy way out. But judges now going to be wanting to see a replay of this. Was Bagsy understeering? Was he going off track? That's what they're going to want to know. Nevertheless, I can see that Bagsy's front tyre is debeaded. So we're going to look back at the replays for you guys at home so you can see this. For you guys on the bank, if you're watching it on your phones, you can see a replay of this. Denham, Bagsy. Bagsy fires in, nice initiation, big angle, comes through. Yeah, Bagsy catching a whole load of understeer. Once again, there was no way that he was going to save that from what I can tell. Oh,
is that flat?
Yeah, that front tyre is completely debeaded,
yeah.
Completely debeaded. So
another replay on the live stream as we see Steve off the line. Smoking those tyres, Matt Denham in hot pursuit. So Steve chucks it in 90 degrees to the track and then
watch this.
just understeers. And at that point in time, Matt Denham has to make contact. Denham is assuming that Steve's going to pull angle and keep the drift, and unfortunately, it looks like Bagsy's going to be at fault with that one.
Look at Matt Denham, ladies and gentlemen, running down to... Matt Denham is going to go down now to apologise to Bagsy for making contact. It's the kind of guy that Matt Denham is. He's going to go down there and go, I'm really sorry about hitting your car. Throws his gloves. What a guy. Ladies and gentlemen, give him a round of applause. Bagsy and Matt Denham putting their cars on the line for your entertainment here at UK Drift Championship Round 4 2021. And Matt Denham doing all the international drift symbols. There was it was this and there was that. And
yep. How was I supposed to miss you?
Yeah, you were understeering again. And Southbank corner to Bagsy just seems to be a bit of a nemesis at the moment. Just can't seem to figure it out. So this one going to be a tough one for the judges.
So Sammy Spotter hopefully has got his crew ready. He's going to need a front
He's on his own this weekend.
Oh, is he on his own?
Sam the spotter is on his own.
Right, well, he's going to need a front tyre on that S13 regardless. So hopefully we can get Steve back to the pits, get that tyre replaced, that wheel and tyre replaced. And we will then we will go back to the Barker Stefanoff second half.
Well,
of the semi-final.
The judges need to come to some form of conclusion for this first. I mean, Bagsy's going to be at fault for this.
Oh yeah, of course. It was the second half of the battle.
It's the second half of the battle. So judges.
Miles away. So we could ask the judges if they can make it official on what the result will be on this battle. But then obviously we need to see. It will be the loser of this battle. We'll move into our third, fourth place runoff. But obviously they've got to get that front bumper off that PS13 to be able to get the car up onto the truck without destroying it. Obviously these cars, especially on the grass with the front tyre debeaded, that car is 3 inches lower than it should be, or as it would be normally. So yeah, the bumper taken off there by Paul, one of our marshals, and Matt Walker, the guy that we saw in the Pro Class last time round here at round 3.
Yeah, Matt Walker, normally a Pro 2 driver in the championship, says he's taking some time out, build the car, and offers these recovery services to us here at the UK Drift Championship. Yeah, and you can see that front wheel completely debeaded, so that's going to be a bit of a challenge to get onto the truck. Matt Denham's car, though, the rear wheel, there's some suspension damage to the back end of that car, so that car going to need some attention before it goes back into battle again. So I'm going to say now, Bagsy will be dropping into the 3rd and 4th place playoff. Matt Denham will head towards the final, but we need to make it official from our judges. So what way do they swing it? Do we get a clear-cut decision? There we go. Yeah, Matt Denham, 1 vote. Yeah, unanimous. Matt Denham gets the win, advances through to the final. Bagsy goes into the 3rd and 4th place playoff, and taking a look across at our judges, and they're saying, yep, Bagsy understeering, falling off circuit, led Matt Denham into that contact, nothing he could do. Unfortunately, not the way we wanted to see it play out, but that is how it went down. So there we go. Bagsy in the 3rd and 4th place. Denham into the final. Who will he be battling, though? Will it be Barker? Will it be Stefanov? As soon as we get Bagsy off the circuit and into a safe position, we will move along with the next battle. So Matt Denham now gets competition time out to get the car fixed, because apparently he's damaged quite a lot of suspension on the back end of that car. So you can see it down the back end of the circuit, waiting maybe for recovery as well. So Mark's just going to take a quick peek out of the tower.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't see anything for the live stream tent. No, is that Matt moving? Yeah, Matt's car's moving.
Matt's moving, yeah. Matt's
moving. Right, okay, so we get Bagsy up on to the tower. Look, there's Mr. Denham and Ryan Hughes there, and I believe...
Are they ready to go, Stefanov? Stefanov and that ready to go, yeah?
In fact, it looks like Denham.
You can see the rear wheel, yeah.
I think that's just debeaded by the look of it.
I think there's damage
and
there,
personally.
The Garage 500 boys,
lads.
Yeah, running around, trying to help out.
Yeah, that's Ryan Hughes that we saw earlier on. Just making sure that Matt's ready to rock and roll. He's actually pitting in the lower end of the paddock, so he'll have to go round the bottom and up into the off the west track.
So Bagsy's car almost up onto the recovery, and we will get him safely off track, but not an easy task. It's quite a lot of damage on the front of that car, I should suspect, apart from just a debeaded tyre. So
well, we'll have one of our members of staff follow Steve into the pit area to make sure we know exactly what's going on, how long that's going to take to repair. Hopefully not too long. Hopefully the damage isn't too bad. I know the front bumper bar looked like it was down. The headlights were lower than normal, so hopefully jack under that will soon push that back up into line and we'll get a wheel on that car, and hopefully we can get him back out.
I was just going to say, yeah, that's the conversation that's being had in the tower at the moment between Clark, of course, and our judges, saying, do we assume that Bagsy's out of competition, or is he going to try and make it back out for the 3rd and 4th place playoff? And I said, well, look, you know, he doesn't go down without a fight. There's a lot of people in the pits willing to help him out. So he potentially will be back for the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And we can't write him off until he doesn't make it to the start line. So, right. So we are hearing word that all it is on that car that he can see is a debeaded tyre, and that he's got a spare. He's going to put it back on, check the alignment, and he's going to be back out ready to rock and roll. And I know that Mark from Two Roads Motorworks down there, who also maintains and looks after Hayden Cruikshank's car, is helping Bagsy, because he's he's a man down at the moment. He's only got one man who is a spotter and a mechanic and everything else this weekend for him. So there we go. So Bagsy on the truck makes his way off. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, as we get Bagsy off the circuit. And we can move along with our next battle. This one, another big one, Stefanov and Barker. So I can hear tyres being warmed up in the background. We're going to head down to the start line to find out exactly what the situation is. And I can see Luke Barker warming up the tyres on the back of that 2JZ powered GT86. And this is for the space. This is for the last spot in the final and the last spot in the third and fourth place playoff. Who is going to take it through? Barker wants this. He just see Bagsy bow out into the third and fourth place. So that alters the point straight away. Barker knows if he gets into the final, he could seal the deal today and get the job done. But Stefan Stefanov still in the mix, still could upset the battles, could still work his way into that top 3 in the championship. Thumbs up all round from the drivers. We get the thumbs up in the tower. Start line marshal waves him on. Look at that from Stefanov. Stefanov hot out the press. Didn't even wait for Barker to lift the caution before Stefanov started to drive away. He knows Barker's ultra fast, but look at this from Stefanov. He can match the pace. Can he keep with him though? As Stefanov held on to the side of Barker for a glimpse of a moment there as Barker fired into outside zone 3. Barker deep in the zones as he transitions, but Stefanov through the smoke. Stefanov knows what he needs to do to take down Barker as he looks for the back bumper of the 86, and across the line goes Stefanov and Barker.
Yeah, perfect display there from Mr. Barker. Luke Barker in that lead position, running that perfect qualifying line and trying to secure the championship here today at Teesside, and then basically come to Silverstone and just enjoy himself, basically.
Enjoy himself, yeah.
And running to Luffield. Oh my word! I mean, I said to Luke during the pit walk, can you imagine how fast your car is going to be into Luffield? I mean, we've seen Matt Carter in the past, 124 miles an hour.
Yeah, incredible,
You know,
incredible. So there we go, they're back on the start line, ready to go. Stefanov did a good job against Barker, one of the only people we know that's held on to it so far. Can Stefanov shake off Luke Barker right now as he comes down to lead him in? Stefanov with a nice initiation, snaps to angle, little dab of the foot brake, locks up the front wheel. Barker holds on, gives him some room to manoeuvre, not tight on the proximity, looks for the side. Stefanov fires big angle at it. Absolutely risk and reward for Stefan Stefanov as he throws a smoke cloud in the sky. Stefanov up and gone, but Barker comes through the smoke, looks for the door as they finish up the run bumper to bumper.
Yeah, epic. Fantastic driving from Luke there, using a bit of common sense, hanging back into Southbank corner, letting Stefan do that initiation and then piling on the pressure as they come through clip 3 and moving on through clip 4 to 5, and then obviously coming out of the cloud of smoke onto 6 and literally sat on his door. And we look across to the judges and we'll see if they have a decision. And will we see Luke Barker join Matt Denham in the final?
Well, not a lot of deliberation, a lot of blank expressions and staring into space, thinking about the situation more than anything. What are the judges thinking? They're all jotting notes down. They're all having a little chat about some bits here now, but judges taking some notes, having a look, showing each other what they think their opinion is, and talking about this one. Who is going to take it through to the final? Will it be Barker? Will it be Stefanov? One vote for Barker. Oh, there we go. Unanimous. Barker gets the win. Barker goes through to the final to face off against Denham. It will be Stefanov and Bagsy once again for third step on the podium. Can Stefanov get some redemption? They fist bump each other. Barker says, yes, this is it. This could be the championship right here today. Mark's doing the maths. What are you saying, Mark? Is it close? How close are we?
Well, I'm saying that even if Luke comes second, he will get 24 points, which will give him 106.
Oh, here we go. Graphics up on the screen. The final battles of the day. The final 4. Luke Barker versus Stefan Stefanov for the first place on the podium. Matt Denham to take on Bagsy for the third step on the podium. So there we go. Those guys make their way around. Back to the paddock they go, and we await to find out. So Stefanov's going to need tyres. Bagsy's repairing the car. Is Bagsy going to be able to make it back out? Was it only a debeaded tyre? That is the question that we're asking right now. We look for our clerk of course, Steve, to find out what the situation is.
And I've just had a message from Dave Yandel.
From Dave.
He's never sent me a message ever. We just sent me a message saying it's a DY Engines final.
Well, there we go. So that is it. Yeah, the last one you showed was wrong. Just getting told by the graphics team that they messed up. They messed up. They made a mistake. They put the wrong person in the final. But it's fine. It's all good. I knew what I was talking about. So, as you can see, a completely sun-drenched Teesside Autodrome as we await to get Bagsy back out on the grid. Oh, Mark's doing the maths, and he's uncovered some new news, but don't go anywhere because we're going to go for a quick ad break. When we come back, we will have our third and fourth place playoff ready to rock and roll. It will be Bagsy to take on Stefanov for the third and final step on the podium. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a couple of minutes' time.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
More horsepower, less wear, better performance. Introducing new GP1 high-performance driven racing oil, developed specifically for competition, classic, and import vehicle applications.
Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are just about ready to get underway with our third and fourth place playoff. And it is Bagsy versus Stefanov. If you haven't been tuned in, where have you been? Because you've missed some fireworks this afternoon, some incredible battles, some contact, some guys putting their cars on the limit to take down these championship contenders. And as it stands right now, it will be Matt Denham to take on Luke Barker in the final, and Bagsy and Stefanov to face off for the third and fourth place playoff. Once again, a repeat of round 3 here at Teesside just a month ago. And Stefanov said to me, when I said to him, how you feeling? He said, I'm not that happy. And I said, why? He said, well, because Bagsy beat me and I didn't get on the podium. So Stefanov's going to be looking for some redemption. He's going to be looking to take down Bagsy to try and get onto the podium. So, as I say, we are just waiting for those guys to get their cars fixed. Bagsy has a spare front tyre and Will is going to put that on the car. They're going to check the alignment very, very quickly. As I said, he has Mark down there from Two Roads Motorworks, who does support Hayden Cruikshank and Cole Farrar. So those guys are going to be all jamming together to get that car back together. Stefanov, he just needed a fresh pair of tyres. As you can see, the recovery truck making their way back onto the circuit. And Matt Denham took some damage to the back of that car, so he will be trying to get that car fixed as well. I'm pretty sure he has Jason Clark from Clark Motorsport down there, spanner in the car this weekend, as always. So Matt Denham not short of a few spare pair of hands as well. And Mark's been doing the maths. He's not giving anything away. We're not going to give anything away just yet. We're going to keep it all a secret. We're going to keep it all a secret until we have to tell you.
Be a shame to spoil it.
Would be a shame to spoil it, especially now. So,
but obviously
we are looking.
the remaining positions in the championship as well we'll sort out. But obviously Stefan, he's in the fight here as well, because obviously Arunas has gone out and Stefan was behind him in the championship. So Stefan has got a lot to play for here. He could, maybe not, but he could jump Hayden Cruikshank for 4th place in the championship.
We still have a round to go, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget, if you are attending tracks in September, the 3rd of September, is that right, Mark?
That is, yes, 3rd
of October.
Sunday the 3rd of October. Yep.
If you are attending tracks, we will be there with the UK Drift Championship for the final pro round. Those guys are going to be heading down the straight, under the bridge, into Brooklands and through Luffield at over 100 miles an hour. And these guys are going to put on a show. We do have multiple sessions throughout the day. We are only taking 32 drivers. We're going to whittle those drivers. They're going to get 1 practice session, 1 qualifying session. We're going to whittle 32 down to a top 16 straight away. No messing around. We're going to half the grid straight away. The bottom 16 will be packing up and going home, and the top 16 will battle it out in the next 2 sessions to find our ultimate champion if it doesn't get crowned today here at Teesside Autodrome.
And we will be presenting the top 3 trophies for the Pro 2 class at Silverstone as well. Not only that, we will also be doing the draw for the golden ticket
for Matsuri.
Drift
yes.
Matsuri. Yes.
So Drift Matsuri tickets go on sale tomorrow night at 8 o'clock.
That's right.
If you are an avid Drift fan and a Matsuri lover, you should be, praying to the Drift gods that you get a ticket, because they sell like hotcakes on a cold winter's day, Mark.
Yeah, I'm just looking at they're all.
We're all there. Yeah, there we are.
Up
there
on
we
the tower.
Up on the tower. So there we go.
That young man there, I'm pointing to. We can't see.
Can't see your finger.
See my finger
That
just
is,
behind your back.
That is Matt McCallum.
That is Matt McCallum. He's the man that's responsible for the live stream. So a big thank you to Matt.
And Steve with the radio next to him.
Just punching Scott in the face.
We are waiting to find out. 2 minutes. 2 minutes, we're being told, ladies and gentlemen. Not much longer to wait before we get Bagsy and Stefanoff back on track, ready to rock and roll, and hopefully no more accidents.
See the transporter bridge there in the background here at Middlesbrough. Obviously, I've forgotten what, Riverside Park, football ground, just at the other side of that.
Not sure. I'm not that good with geography around these parts.
Yeah, Riverside Stadium
is just
at
over
the other
there.
side. Middlesbrough.
Is that where you get the Palmo?
Oh, you get that from.
Where'd you get that? Central Park.
Central Park, apparently.
Palmo. Yeah.
That's on Teesside. Linthorpe Road, Middlesbrough.
God, you know do you know the postcode?
No, he's got it as his favourite.
He's got it as his favourite on his sat-nav. Yeah, he knows it. It's Stevie, our scoring man, loves a Palmo. Loves a Palmo. Sorry. Stewie, our scoring guy. Yeah, look, he's straight on Waze. He's got it as a favourite, straight in there. So, not long to go.
I've had a couple of messages from Kevin Quinn.
Have you really? Where is he? That's what I want to know. Is he coming to Silverstone? No, he can't. I don't think he's out. I think he's out of the points far enough down to come.
Yeah, I mean,
he should have come to Teesside this weekend.
I'd love to say what I want to say, but because we're live,
you can't say it.
I can't say it.
Keep it PC, Mark.
But no, nice to know you're watching, Kevin. I do hope you would. I don't think he'll have enough points.
He hasn't got enough points, I don't think. I think we did the maths the other night and he hasn't got enough points to get to Silverstone, which is a shame. Would have been nice to have some of the Irish across for that event, but unfortunately.
But I do think Dwayne might have enough points.
Yeah, potentially to come to Silverstone.
We'll say once we've sorted out the points, we'll get those updated as soon as possible, possibly tonight, if not tomorrow morning. But no, he says something about Dave Yandel that I'm not going to repeat. So Kevin says hello. I'll leave it at that. And he also says that he loves you.
Does he?
Yeah. He says, tell Ian I love him.
It's been a long time since I've seen him. I haven't seen him. He hasn't come to any Drift Masters events this year, and he has only attended one UKDC, and that was back at round 1 at Three Sisters. Unfortunately, these guys are doing a lot of double duty, driving in the British Drift Championship, Drift Pro Championship as well, all over the UK. So a lot of drifting going on this year. And Stevie, I'm looking at you. What are you saying? So there we go. Bagsy is apparently moving through the paddock at the moment, and Stefanoff, as you can see at the back end of your screen, is ready to rock and roll, ready to warm the tyres on the back of that S13.
So okay. Well, I'm just quickly looking through the messages on Instagram. Learn to Drift Public Drift Days, wishing everybody at the UK Drift Championship all the very best. Hashtag go hard or go home. Hashtag just send it. Who else have we got? Scott Beats sent us a picture of Ames' car again. Titch, worth mentioning. Ryan Hughes, S14, potentially the high HP SR engine, highest horsepower SR engine in the UK at around 700.
Oh, it's 700 horsepower. Wow.
So thank you for that, Titch.
Turned it up a little bit since I last heard from a few friends what power that Ryan Hughes was running. So yeah, Ryan Hughes.
Picture from Alex Lovell showing that he's watching at home on his TV. So thank you, Alex, for tuning in. Probably apologise for this delay, but obviously accidents happen at drift events.
Yep. Yeah, we can't, unfortunately, stop these accidents from happening. These guys pushing at more than 110%. And, you know, when they're going door to door over 90 miles an hour into South Bank, things like this happen. And unfortunately, Bagsy having to do a little bit of repair work to that car before he can get out for the 3rd and 4th place playoff. And you know what? We'd take that time to see Bagsy and Stefanoff battle it out again for the 3rd step on the podium, because last time we see it, it was electric. And Bagsy took the win against Stefanoff. Stefanoff, as I said, you know, we're looking for a little bit of redemption today, saying, well, Bagsy may be a little bit of a wounded deer, and we need to see if we can take him down. Stefanoff looking on form. And we can see Barker in the background there on the back of the grid, ready to rock and roll. We need to pull Stefanoff up to the tyre warming area to warm up his tyres, and now we are awaiting Bagsy. So Bagsy's making his way around the back end of West Track apparently, and strapping himself in as he goes so he can come straight to the tyre warming area, and we are looking to pull Stefanoff forward to warm up his tyres. So Luke Barker there, as you can see in the background, just having the GoPros fitted and just having the camera equipment all set up on his car, ready for the final battle. He's going to go against Matt Denham. Matt Denham looking strong. Look, took that win at Drift Pro last weekend, and you know, took the taste of that champagne. He's going to want to take it again. 2 battles to go, 4 runs, and that is it. Up round 4. 2021 championship is done and dusted. Yesterday we crowned our Pro 2 champion, Callum Payne. Who will take home the Pro Championship? Will it be decided today? That is the big question on everyone's lips. Can Matt Denham make an upset to that?
Oh, I can hear cars.
There we go. So Stefanoff told to come down to warm up his tyres. As you can see in the background there, Stefanoff in at the tyre warming area. This is your 3rd and 4th place playoff battle. Who will take the last step on the podium? Stefanoff warms his tyres. And Stefanoff is the higher qualifier by just 1 position. Bagsy qualified in 8th place. Stefanoff qualified in 7th place. So Stefanoff, the higher qualifier, gets to lead out Bagsy. And Stefanoff throwing up some smoke there, enough to bog Bagsy down. Can Bagsy hold on to this one? We see that big error, that car understeering. Have they got that situation sorted? Is the car 100%? Nearly hit a stack of tyres, bails out of the tyre warming and gets himself straight to the start line. And here we go. It is going to be Bagsy to chase down Stefanoff in the Dream Cars giveaway S13. They get the thumbs up, ready to rock and roll. Teesside, you ready for it? Come on, we need some energy in this place. Let's go. Stefanoff leading in Bagsy. They scream down Bagsy on the back bumper straight away. Oh, big snap to angle for Bagsy as he matches the angle of Stefanoff. Stefanoff way high on the bank. Absolutely beautiful line from Stefanoff in the lead position as they come down into outside zone 3. Into the first hairpin. Bagsy starts to mirror image the transitions and the angle of Stefanoff as he jumps onto the front wheel. Bagsy pushing 110%. Stefanoff has DB'd a tyre. Has Stefanoff DB'd a tyre?
I think that's the, is he?
Or is he just running low pressures? It looks like they're DB'd. Wow. It looked like it was on the rim was on the floor.
I don't think so.
So Stefanoff now pulls off, goes back to the grid to talk to one of our marshals. And it looked to me like there was a DB'd. It was so low. The rim was almost on the floor. Can we see a replay of that run just to try and see how low tyre pressure Stefan Stefanov was running. Look, these guys have battled before, as I say, round 3 here at Teesside Autodrome. Stefanov knows the pace in Bagsy's car. So here we go, let's take a look back at the replay. So Stefan Stefanov makes his way down. So look at this, it's the right side rear tyre I was looking at it from the view that I have on the monitor in the tower. I don't know if you guys here in attendance could see anything different, but Stefan Stefanov was running such low tyre pressures. I assumed it was a D-bead. Bagsy did an incredible job in the chase, but Stefanov's lead line was just on point. Nice transition back, and it was this view here. Stefan Stefanov looked like he D-beaded a tyre. I know, I think it's just how low the tyre pressures are. The rim looks like it was on the floor. Incredible stuff. So we are hearing word that Stefan Stefanov has popped a intercooler pipe, a boost pipe on the car. And Stefan Stefanov, we do believe, doesn't have a 5-minute rule. We're trying to work out if we can get it fixed down the back end of the grid there, instead of sending Stefanov back to the paddock to get it fixed.
He hasn't had a 5-minute rule in top 4, has he?
So Stefan Stefanov told that he can go back to the paddock to fix the boost hose. So there we go. Yeah, look, Stefan Stefanov going back. He's gonna pull up there to some of the guys that are pitted down the back end of the grid, just trying to fix that boost hose, try and see if they can get it fixed without taking it all the way back through the grid. Look, you can see Oliver Baker's team over there and a few more of his crew now making their way over. They're going to run and get some tools. And he's saying, basically what he's saying is by the time it takes him to get back to his pit, which is quite on the other side of the track, and he gets back again, it's going to take him at least 5 minutes. He does have a 5-minute rule available, but he just doesn't want to take it just in case he needs it again. So he's going to jump back in, get himself strapped in. You can see the crew down there, and our Marshal Dale has a clock running to make sure he doesn't take too long to get that car fixed. Jamie Stanton down there as well, lending a hand, and a few other drivers. As I say, Oliver Baker's crew down there as well, jumping in to get that car fixed.
Yep, so Stefan in the car, Jojo McDonnell there, I think. Yep, so no, Stefan's getting himself strapped in, ready, and as soon as they've nipped that up, get him back to the start line, and we'll get the second half of the 3rd and 4th place battle underway.
So our judges just getting confused between drivers, trying to work out who had a 5-minute rule, who didn't have a 5-minute rule, but we're all clear now. Stefan Stefanov hasn't used his 5-minute rule in the last final 4 of the competition, so he does have one to play, but he doesn't want to take it, saying, I don't need 5 minutes, I just need a couple of minutes to get the car fixed, but technically... But
we're going to, I'm going to
you're going to call that as a 5-minute rule. Yeah, I think our guys down there...
working on the car. It's got to be a 5-minute
Yeah,
rule.
I think our guys down there have called that as well as a 5-minute rule, hence why he was showing him his phone to say, look, the stopwatch is running. You've technically started your 5-minute rule.
Presumably it will be, it's not just going to be your normal Jubilee clip. It's not going to be a case of grabbing a screwdriver and nipping that up. That will be probably an 8 or a 10 mil socket that will have to be nipped up on that boost pipe, and hopefully it doesn't come off in the second run of this third, fourth place run. But it must have happened after the line, because he completed his run.
Yeah, he completed the run, and the car didn't look like it was down on power whatsoever. No. So, Stefan Stefanov...
That's it, a quick spray of water just to cool it down a little bit, presumably on the intercooler.
So there we go, it's done, yeah, fixed and ready to go. Oliver Baker's team down there.
Shout out to those guys down there. All hands on deck to get that car ready.
Yeah, so...
And there we are, Stefan comes back away to meet Bagsy on the start line for the second half of this battle. So the judges will have noted down what their scores were on the first run, and Stefan heads straight to the line, no messing around, straight to the line. He knows Steve's waiting for him. The tyres will have cooled down a little bit.
Yep, Bagsy slams the door closed. He is now in the lead position. Stefanov to give chase. They get the thumbs up. Stefanov jumps the line. He knows Bagsy's got a fast car. Can he keep up with him? That's the question. Stefanov's car, can it hold together? We've seen it chinking the armour from that S13 already. Bagsy's car, no understeer issues this time. Absolutely hammers down as Bagsy throws a smokescreen in the face of Stefanov. He's absolutely glued to him, though. As Stefanov shallows off the angle, makes the adjustments, looks for the pocket. As Stefanov does not want to be beaten by Bagsy again, he goes for the front wheel. Stefanov tags the front wheel, almost upsets himself, but stays with him across the line. That is a third and fourth place playoff, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I think we should see a replay of both those runs now, one after the other, so we can get ourselves back into the zone of how good that is. Both, yep. So there we go. We're going to get a replay of both of them runs. So there we go. This is Stefanov's lead and Bagsy's chase. Judges want to see a replay of this as well as everyone else, just to refresh our memories of what we was looking at. Look at Bagsy, the aggression on the initiation. Initiated a little bit later than Stefanov, though. Lets himself get set up. Stefanov on an absolute killer line, very high on the bank. Gets himself set up. Bagsy has a little wobble. Lets Stefanov get himself set up there for the outside zone. Bagsy then makes the dive as they come in to outside zone 4 on the transition. Stefanov dialed in, looks very, very comfortable. Bagsy gets himself right up in there. A little bit of separation, but not too much, as then Bagsy squeezes up onto the back bumper as Stefanov finishes that run. So this is Bagsy's lead and Stefanov's chase. Now Stefanov, I'm going to say, had equal proximity to Bagsy. Just what way do the judges see it? They're going to be looking at lead to lead, chase to chase. Nice initiation from Bagsy, gets on the throttle nice and early, gets that car way high up on the bank. Stefanov mirrors the angle. This is for me where Stefanov kind of makes a mistake. He's done it once or twice before. Shallows up, gets right on the inside edge of the circuit. Bagsy not as deep as what the judges would like to have seen. Then finds out a zone on the transition. Stefanov with him though through the smoke, makes the dive. And then Stefanov looks, shallows up massively to get front wheel. Look at that, front wheel to front wheel. Dials on the angle with the contact. Bagsy on the lead, yeah, and Stefanov almost an overtake. Judges, are we looking at that?
So we go over to James and ask the question. We don't say who has won this battle. We'll do that on the podium. James, do we have a decision?
Yes, we do, Mark. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
There we go. We have a decision, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to pull these guys back round to the back end of the grid, and we're going to pull forward our next battle, and it will be the final battle of the day. Matt Denham to take on Luke Barker. This is for the final, for the top step on the podium. So there we go. Bagsy asked to just take his car back to the back end of the grid, and then we are going to call forward the final battle. Matt Denham to take on Luke Barker. And there we go. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Your third and fourth place playoff, Stefan Stefanov and Bagsy. So those guys safely off track, make their way back down to the back end of the grid, where we will be announcing the winner of that battle on the podium. And in the background, I can hear the warming tyres of Matt Denham in the Jap Speed S13. Here we go. Denham to take on Barker. Denham pulls to the line, the higher qualifier. Barker warms up the tyres on the 2JZ powered GT86's, 2 2JZs underneath the bonnets of two different cars, an S13, a GT86. Ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to rock and roll. Teesside, make some noise for your final! Yeah, that's what we're talking about. They're off the line, ready to go. Denham to lead in Barker for the top step on the podium. Here we go, separation already. Denham not messing around. Fires in that S13, squeezes the throttle, starts to unleash all of the power into the back tyres as he screams into the outside zone. Barker lost in the smoke a little bit now as Denham transition. Barker going to look for the dive up to the door. Here he comes through the smoke. Denham hammers down Barker onto the rear bumper, and across the line they go.
And I'll tell you what, he showed him a clean pair of heels into that first clipping point and second clipping round South Bank. Luke Barker, nothing round that first corner, Ian.
No, nothing in it for Barker, nothing in it whatsoever. And I think Barker was a little bit shaken there. Barker on the ropes maybe, potentially. Now he has to sit in the lead position. Denham with a chase. Can Denham put in a clean chase and not make any contact, get himself around and take the win? Can he do it? Ladies and gentlemen, this is it. Make some noise for the final run of the day. Here we go. They're off the line. Barker to lead out Denham. This is it. The top step on the podium awaits. Who's going to take it? Denham with the aggression. Denham not messing around. He's on the back bumper. He goes for the door. Matt Denham is absolutely glued to the rear wheel of Luke Barker's GT86. Gives him the room as they come down into the first hairpin. Barker in the outside zone. Denham waits for the transition. Through the smoke comes Matt Denham. The Jap Speed S13 is on to the door and across the line. Wow!
Well, we had to wait quite a long time for that battle, but that did not disappoint.
Wow. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to run a replay while our judges quickly deliberate this one, and we are going to go to them in a minute and ask them if they do have a decision. So here we go. This is a watch back at the replay of those two runs. Denham's lead, incredible, Mark, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I don't think Luke expected Matt to be quite as quick out of the gate as he was. Either thought or it was left napping, and there is separation all the way around South Bank corner there. Matt Denham just dropping offline from 2 to 3 as told, nice and wide round that first hairpin into the clipping zone and then through the next clipping point. And then out to the touch and go perfectly, and then just straightens the car up just a little bit to make sure he stays on track. And Luke Barker is there, but he's not on his door. The second half of this battle then, the run we are about to watch on the replay. Denham not letting Barker get away. Side by side, halfway back down the straight, then Matt just tucks his car in behind Luke Barker, initiates almost at the same time, little bit shallower angle just to get on the door, and then sits it right onto the door of Luke Barker. Luke Barker running that perfect qualifying line, but Matt Denham sat there and just coming slightly offline because he's allowed to, because he's so close, and this is where the transition comes in. Matt Denham knows where Luke's going to transition and then literally puts the car, must have been so close you would not put anything between those two cars as they came across the line. Right, we go across to our head judge James and ask, do we have a decision?
Oh, wow, yeah. My notes for that run are just like 4-letter words. That's crazy.
Right, ladies and
So
gents.
there we go, we do. I think he answered that one himself. We do have a decision, ladies and gentlemen. You are more than welcome to join us on track in front of the podium. Please be careful and wait for our cars to make their way down and stop. I'm going to go down, Mark. I'm going to hand it to you. I'm going to grab the all-important piece of paperwork and I'm going to go down and do the trophy presentation.
Yeah, so Ian is going to go down to the podium with our microphone to let you know who's won round 4 of the UK Drift Championship. While we do that, we have to thank our sponsors once again: ASNU Fuel Injection, Driven Racing Oil, Kobo Seats, Funk Motorsport, Dorenza, Garage D, Hell Performance, and of course Fast R, who are our title sponsor. If you want to see some motorsport or some car-related content, make sure you follow Fast R on Facebook, Instagram, and get onto their website. As we see the 4 finalists make their way down, they will come down and park in front of the podium and ready for Ian to do the podium presentation. The 3 trophies, well, we've got 4 trophies. We've got the Racing Driven Oils Hard Charger Trophy. The judges award that to a driver who may not be on the, well, are not on the podium, but believe they deserve some recognition. And Matt Denham, looks like Matt's going, oh, Matt's gone the shortcut. Matt's done a shortcut. Matt Denham in the Jap Speed S13 pulls up to Robert Borowick from Everything Drift. So yeah, big, huge thank you to everybody that's made it possible. We hope you've enjoyed it, those that came down to see the event firsthand. That final, what an epic final that was between Luke Barker, championship leader, and Matt Denham, We will wait to see if Matt Denham has done back-to-back victories after victory at Drift Pro last weekend at Donington. And a big thank you to everybody up on the banking for making the effort to come down here today. And I will now hand over to Ian, who is down there with the all-important piece of paper to give the results for the podium.
Thank you very much, Mark. And yes, I am down here on the grid, ready to rock and roll. On the podium behind me awaits, and as you can see, our final four drivers. Just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who came out at Teesside today to support our pro grid, and a huge thank you to all our pro drivers, staff, media, everyone who made today possible. What an incredible event. I have the all-important piece of paperwork, but before I give out the podium, I'm going to give out our Driven Racing Oils Hard Charger Award, and that goes to a driver who our judges say drove 115%, and that, ladies and gentlemen, goes to Jamie Stanton. So, Jamie Stanton, make your way down. You are the Driven Racing Oils Hard Charger. So, that leaves me with great pleasure to announce that taking the third step on the podium, ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Steve Bagsy Biagioni! Stefan Stefanov once again, fourth place. Incredible drive, incredible stuff. Well done, Bagsy. There it is, third place, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Bagsy Biagioni. And that leaves me with great pleasure to announce that your round 4 winner, raise the roof for Matt Denham, ladies and gentlemen. Matt Denham takes the win. Second place goes to your current points, the championship leader, Luke Barker. Ladies and gentlemen, from me and all the staff here at the UK Drift Championship, we wish you all a safe drive home and a good rest of your weekend. From me, I'm out. We'll see you at Silverstone in a month's time.
We are Funk Motorsport, your heat management specialists. Based in the UK, we strive for perfection, developing thermal products trusted by professional race teams and drivers worldwide. Performance, protection, reliability.
More horsepower, less wear, better performance. Introducing new GP1 high-performance driven racing oil, developed specifically for competition, classic, and import vehicle applications.